Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone. Welcome to Last Perhaps Baseball's live commentary of the DuPont Professional Baseball League. Tonight from the Balluna Dome, it is going to be the Seibu Lions hosting the Tokyo's Yakult Swallows. And we are going to bring you a game 2 of this series. Last night, we called the game between the Buffaloes and the Yokohama Dana Bay Stars, in which Trevor Bauer improved his season record to 3-2. But tonight, it's all about the Swallows and the Lions. And we're going to give you the starting lineup, first of all, for the visitors from Tokyo. It is leading off and playing second base is number 1, Tetsuda Yamada. Batting second in center field is number 33, Soma Uchiyama. Hitting third and doing the designated hitting tonight is number 5, Shingo Kawabata. In the cleanup spot and playing third base is number 55, Munetaka Murakami. Batting fifth in left field is number 23, Nori Aoki. And the sixth spot and playing in right field is number 25, Domingo Santana. Hitting seventh and doing the catching is number 27, Yuhei Nakamura. Batting eighth at first base is number 13, Jose Ozuna. And batting ninth at shortstop is number 60, Ryusei Takioka. And they are going to be facing the number 1 gun for the Seibu Lions. It is going to be Mitsunari Takahashi, who takes a 4-3 record to the mound. He's worked 70 innings. He's allowed 50 hits, 18 runs, 15 of which have been earned. He has walked 19 and struck out 61, and he's got an ERA of 1.93. Well, that's your lineup for the Swallows. We'll give you the lineup quickly for the home team for the Seibu Lions. Leading off the shortstop, number 6, Suzuki Genda. Hitting second and doing the designated hitting is number 5, Shuta Tonosaki. Batting third at third base is number 30, David McKinnon. Cleanup spot is number 8, and playing first base, Kento Watanabe. Batting in the 5 spot in right field is number 72, Seiji Kawagawa. Batting in the 6th spot and playing center field is number 63, Shinya Hasegawa. Hitting 7th at second base is number 31, Shota Hiranuma. Batting 8th and doing the catching is number 22, Yuto Koga. And batting 9th, the left fielder is Gakuto Wakabayashi. He wears 35. And they'll be facing Masanori Ishikawa, who brings a 1-3 record to the hill. Well, we're ready to get this one going, and here comes the first pitch of the ball game as Takahashi kicks and delivers, and it is a fastball swung on. It is tapped right back to the pitcher. He fields it, he throws to first, and just like that, 1 pitch and 1 away, and we are underway in Saitama. Well, that's going to bring up the center fielder, Soma Uchiyama. For Uchiyama on the season, he's batting .206. He's got 3 homers and 10 RBIs. Uchiyama getting the nod in center field tonight. As the right-hander Takahashi leans in and gets his sign from his catcher. As we're ready to go here, it is Yuta Koga tonight behind the plate. And the first pitch is on the way. It's a fastball that catches the outside corner for a called strike. And the count is quickly 0-1. Defensively tonight for the Lions from left to right field, it is Wakabayashi in left, Hasegawa in center, and the right fielder is going to be Kawagawa. As there's a fastball that is dropped by the catcher. That's going to run the count to 1-1. That pitch looked like it might have been a pretty good pitch, but because he played basketball with it, the umpire did not give him the call. Here's the 1-1. It's a breaking ball swung on and tap foul behind home plate. The count goes to 1-2 on Uchiyama. Around the infield, it's Watanabe at first. At second, it's Hiranuma. The shortstop is Genda, and the third baseman is McKinnon. With the battery tonight of Takahashi and Koga. As Takahashi now steps off the backside of the rubber and is going to redo these signs here. Got our friend Steve Rademacher in the house with us tonight. Always welcoming Steve. Steve sent me a slew of emails just before the game, but I'm not going to get a chance to process some of that stuff until a little bit later. More than likely before tomorrow. Tomorrow's games, there's a fastball swung on and fouled away. The count goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Uchiyama. We did a study a few years ago on how many times over the course of a game a pitcher, not including the strikeouts, is going to have to field his position. And we kind of were looking at this at all levels of play. And generally, usually the pitcher is going to be involved in about 22 to 25% of the plays in a ball game. And there's a breaking ball that misses down. Counts now 2-2 to Uchiyama. I wonder if it would be a little bit more in the Japanese league with the amount of bunts that they have. But you've got to be able to field your position. And if you can do that, you get yourself some cheap outs. There's a fastball swung on. It is lifted softly into left center field. It's going to get down for a base hit in front of the center fielder, Hasegawa. And Uchiyama is aboard with a one-out single. That'll bring up the designated hitter, Shingo Kawabata. Well, for Kawabata on this season, he's hitting .413. He's got a homer and 8 runs batted in. Just getting a look at that pitch that was delivered to Uchiyama. He really did a good job of keeping his hands inside to fight it off. Be able to lift that one into shallow left field for the base hit. So one gone, the runner at first. Here's the first offering to Kawabata, and it's a breaking ball swung on and missed. And the count is quickly 0-1. Kawabata batting from the left side. He's got 46 trips to the plate this year. For those 19 hits, off to a great start. Here comes the 0-1 offering as the right-hander kicks and delivers. It's a fastball that catches the inside corner, and the count now goes to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes it is. There is rain in the area of Tokyo and Osaka, which are where many of the games are going to be played here this evening. So we chose to do the indoor game simply because that is going to be some more consistency. There's a line drive hit to the shortstop, Genda, as he was moving to his left. Freezing on the play was Uchiyama, but that's going to retire Kawabata for the second out of the inning. So 2 away here, and that's going to bring up the third baseman, Munetaka Murakami. Well, for Murakami, he's batting .227 on the year. He's got 11 homers and 34 RBIs. He really got off to a slow start. He has picked up the pace more recently. He bats here from the left side. Of course, last year he hit 55 homers, led the Central League in home runs, and had himself an absolute fantastic season. Was looking to try to become the Japanese all-time leader. There's a fastball that misses upstairs for ball 1, and the count is 1-0. He's getting the start at third base tonight. I'm curious to watch him play a little bit of third base. One of the things that I noticed last year, I really didn't like his footwork over there. I don't know if he can play in Major League Baseball as a third baseman or if he'd be better suited off on the other side of the infield. There's a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count is 1-1. Because it sounds like all indications are pointing that in the next 24 months or so, he will be on his way to Major League Baseball. But he is going to have to play some time here in the Japanese League. Here comes the 1-1. And the pitch is on the way. It's a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count goes to 1-2 on Murakami. So 1 ball and 2 strikes it is. Right-hander Takahashi leaning in, getting the sign from his catcher Koga. He's ready to go back to work. He's got a bright green glove that contrasts against the other pieces of his equipment as he feigns a throw over to first base, and easily getting back is the base runner Uchiyama. So 1 ball and 2 strikes it is here as Takahashi gets his sign from Koga again. He works to the set, and now he kicks and delivers. It's a fastball that misses down. A good block there by the catcher. So we're on the count to 2-2. Certainly, if you're going to pitch to Murakami, I'd like to think that you want to face him when there is nobody on base. So 2 balls and 2 strikes it is. As here comes the offering from the right-hander who's ready to deliver. He kicks and fires. It's a fastball that misses upstairs. And the count now goes to 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. Takahashi has a little bit of flair. He's got the long locks going out the backside. He's got the flashy glove. He's had himself a decent start to the year. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. It's on the way. It is a fastball that's taken for a ball upstairs. That pitch looked pretty good. But Murakami gets the call. His not necessarily a home call for Takahashi. That's going to advance Uchiyama over to second, and that's going to bring up the veteran Nori Aoki. Well, for Aoki on the season, he's hitting .287. He's got a homer and 8 runs batted in. Some runners are at first and second with 2 gone here in the first inning. Infield is playing back here as they're looking to make the play at any easy base. Aoki, who steps in. Not so much pop, not so much speed anymore, but he's still a pretty steady player who is getting up toward that 40-year-old plateau. As he asks for time and steps out of the back of the batter's box. So now Nori Aoki ready to get himself back to work. We used to see Aoki a lot wearing the knickers, wearing the socks up. He has chosen to go with the longer pants here this evening. Here comes the first offering. It's a fastball swung on and grounded foul just past the first base coach's box. The count is quickly 0-1 to Aoki. Aoki bats from the left side against the right-handed throwing Takahashi. Full slate of games across the NPB tonight. As we said, there is rain in the forecast in some of the areas, so we'll keep our eyes on that. As there's a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count now goes to 1 ball and 1 strike. There is already some scoring in the NPB as the Yomiuri Giants have a 1-0 lead over the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks. That's in the bottom of the first inning at the PayPay Dome. All the other games are locked up at 0. Here comes the 1-1. It's a split finger pitch that's swung on and missed. Count now goes to 1-2 on Aoki. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Takahashi ready to go again. Here's the offering. It is a fastball swung on, is grounded softly over to second. Fielded neatly by the second baseman Hiranuma, who throws to first, and that's going to retire Aoki. Well, they threaten to the Swallows, but they don't score. They leave runners at first and second. They had no runs in the inning. There was a hit. There were no errors and 2 runners left aboard. Your score at the end of a half inning, it is the Swallows 0 and the Lions coming to bat. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with the call at the bottom of the first inning when we return in just a couple of moments. We appreciate you guys for listening in, whether you listen live or on delay. It's always fun to have everybody listening to our channel. We'll be right back in a few. Welcome back, everybody. The crafty veteran lefty Ishikawa getting onto the mound here for the Tokyo Yakult Swallows in this one here. Ishikawa is going to be 43 years old at some point this year, and he is definitely bringing the veteran presence to the ball club. So he is going to be the one who is going to be trying to lead the way here for the Swallows tonight in this one. He is going to be facing the top of the order here in Genda, Tonosaki, and McKinnon. One thing I can say about Ishikawa is he is not averaging any more than 4 2/3 innings per start this year. So I'll be curious to see what his shelf life is going to be like in this one. And the first pitch is I like to call it a fastball, but it's more of a changeup speed that comes across for a called strike. And the count is 0-1 to Genda. Genda batting .224 with no homers and 3 RBIs. Waggling the bat here, waiting on the offering. And the pitch is a breaking ball that misses outside. And the count goes even at 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Lefty ready to go again here. He wastes no time as he gets the ball and he's ready to work. He kicks and he delivers. It is a breaking ball swung on. This ball is swung and hit into left field. Coming in hard is the left fielder, Aoki. He slides and makes the catch. And that is going to retire Genda for the first out of the inning. It was not an easy play for Aoki. He had to come in and move toward the foul line. He ended up sliding and making the catch in an awkward backhand way across his body. So that is going to retire Genda for the first out of the inning. So 1 up and 1 away. That's going to bring up the designated hitter, Shuta Tonosaki. Well, for Tonosaki, he's having himself an outstanding year. He really started off hot, hitting north of 300. He is batting .261 right now, but he's got 8 homers, 22 RBIs, and 12 stolen bases. If he can keep the clip going, he might have a shot at a 2020 season. There's a breaking ball that is taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Tonosaki gets the night off in the field tonight as he is the designated hitter. And the pitch is on the way. It's a slow breaking ball that floats up at 97 kilometers an hour, somewhere around the 58-mile-an-hour range. And that's going to miss down, so it's even at 1-1. Ishikawa will do that. He'll throw up some slop to the plate to the hitters here sometimes. There's another breaking ball that misses down and in. This time it was at 109 kilometers an hour. So for those of you who aren't kilometer friendly, you're looking at about 66 miles an hour. Of course, the Saitama Seibu Lion coaches are kind of grinning and laughing about the breaking balls that are being thrown up. There's a fastball swung on it. It's grounded softly over to third. Markami fields it. He fires to first. That's going to retire Tonosaki on a ground out 5-3. So 2 batters up and 2 batters away, and that's going to bring up the third baseman, David McKinnon. Well, for David McKinnon, he's had himself a much better last month of the season. He started off decent, and then he kind of went into the tank. He was hitting below the Mendoza line, but he's yanked his average up to .251 now with 7 homers and 23 runs batted in. McKinnon, in his first season with the Lions, spent time in the Oakland Athletics organization last year. That's from the right side here against the left-handed throwing Ishikawa. And the first pitch is on the way. It's a breaking ball that just misses upstairs for ball 1, and the count is 1-0. McKinnon is starting to settle in quite nicely here for the Lions, as the 1-0 pitch is on the way. As Ishikawa kicks and delivers, there's a breaking ball missing down, and the count now goes to 2 balls and no strikes. We will be on the airwaves again tomorrow night. We'll be back with another one, and then we'll have to make a decision what we're going to do this week. We are going to do some games Monday night in North America, late night. As there's a fastball swung on it, is lifted into shallow center field. Started in slowly, and then he had to come on hard, was the center fielder Uchiyama, and he's going to make the catch. And that is going to retire McKinnon for the third out of the inning, and the Lions go quietly in their half of the first. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. We're now through 1 complete. It is the Swallows, nothing, and the Lions, nothing. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be back with the call. Just a couple of moments. We appreciate you all for listening in with us tonight. Here's our good friend of the channel, Steve Rademacher.
Hello, guys. Thank you for joining Freddie here on his baseball game. And I'm Steve Rademacher, and my channel is really all about everybody, including all my international friends. We have such stuff as non-sport packs from Canada, the OP Cheese. We have the Greek Freak. We have money from around the world. We have lira. We have yen. We have francs. We have pounds. We have Deutschmarks. We have all kinds of cool stuff like that. We even have some cooler things like Japanese women wrestlers and OP-Chi baseball cards where I cannot read the back. We even have unopened material like the royal family, I know it's backwards, from London, England. Thank you for watching. Back to Freddie.
Appreciate you there, Steve, and the support you give to our channel. And in turn, we like to support Steve Rademacher. Be sure to check him out after the ball game for all your eclectic collecting needs. Well, Kota Takahashi coming back out for his second inning of work. He's going to be facing Domingo Santana, Yuhei Nakamura, and Jose Ozuna, the 6, 7, and 8 hitters in the batting order for the Swallows. As the right-hander is ready to go back to work, Takahashi is among the league leaders in many statistical categories, including strikeouts, where he enters the ball game with 61 on the season. That puts him at third, and he has a 1.93 ERA, where he is nestled atop the top spot for all the starters in the Pacific League. Here comes Santana to the plate. And the first offering from Takahashi is on the way. It is a fastball that is swung on and missed, and the count is quickly 0-1. Santana batting .285 with 6 homers and 19 RBIs. This is his 4th season in a Swallows uniform. Right-handed hitting right fielder swings, and there's a fastball swung on. This is going to be looped into right center field. Racing over to cut it off is the center fielder. Digging for 2 is Santana, but he's going to get in there with a head-first slide. Oh boy, the center fielder Hasegawa had to get over into the right center field gap. He was able to cut it off before it got to the wall, and he fired it back in, but making it in time into second base was Santana with a double. You got to tip your hat to him. That was an absolute hustle double. He came hard out of the box and challenged the arm of the center fielder. Also a good read, because the center fielder was in the direction where he was moving away from the bag at second base. He was able to plant and make the throw, and the throw was not that bad. It was a one-hop shot, but it just came in a little bit late as Gendo applied the tag. Well, that's going to put Santana at second and Yuhei Nakamura striding to the plate. And for Nakamura, he's batting .220 on the season with 3 homers and 13 RBIs, but he's already squaring to bunt. And now he pulls back and he slashes one foul down the right field line. The count is quickly 0-1 to Nakamura. So no balls and 1 strike. So no balls and 1 strike to Nakamura. Again, he is looking like he wants to square to bunt. As Takahashi now delivers, it's a breaking ball that misses upstairs, and the count is 1-1. That time, the catcher Nakamura stayed with it. It looked like he was definitely looking to want to bunt. But 1 ball and 1 strike it is. Pretty healthy crowd here at the Balluna Dome. Unlike last night when we watched that game at Oryx between the Bay Stars and the Buffaloes, there was a lot of empty seats in the upper levels and toward the left field line. Quite disappointing, actually, for a Friday night, especially in an interleague battle. Here's the 1-1 pitch, and it is bunted. It's down the first base line. It's a good one. It's going to get past the first baseman, but he's able to track it down and throw to the second baseman covering. Oh, Kento Watanabe did not play that one very well. It got by him, and he was able to run it down. And then he throws to first base to retire Nakamura. It's going to be a sacrifice, 3-4 on the putout. That's going to be out number 1 as Santana is going to advance over to third. And now that's going to bring up the first baseman, Jose Ozuna. Interesting that that's what they would approach with a runner at second base on a leadoff situation, that they would bunt Nakamura. Obviously, Ozuna coming up to bat here. Multiple ways that the runs can be scored. And what do you know, the Lions thinking that this game may be a tight one. They're already got the infield in here in the second inning, and the pitch is on the way. It's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count is quickly 0-1 to Ozuna. So no balls and 1 strike. We'll try to get our schedule up a little earlier tomorrow night. So if you're going to be around to listen in, be able to pick up the sounds of all the action. We haven't quite decided. We may make the decision based on the pitching again. There's a fastball that misses upstairs. The count is 1-1. We wanted to see a Takahashi tonight. Also wanted to see more Ashita of the Carp, but for other reasons, we decided that we were going to make the call here. Probably because we didn't like the Marine starter and that there was also rain in the forecast. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is now 2-1. Actually, the rain in the forecast is the greater reason why we stayed away or shied away from that one. These two teams played last night. The Lions had a 2-1 victory. Samita got his third win of his career. Dylan Peters took the loss. It was a close ball game last night. Nail biter. Samita with his second win of the year. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. There is a split finger pitch swung on and missed. The count now goes to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. They sometimes announce the starters for tomorrow, and that'll obviously impact us. And it looks like everybody is now in that spot. Like Roki Sasaki is going to be going for the Chibalote Marines. There is a split finger pitch swung on and missed. Ozuna's been tagged out. He's gone for out number 2, and that's going to leave it all up to the shortstop, Ryusei Takioka. Well, for Takioka on the season, he's hitting .265. He's got no homers and 3 runs driven in. So if we had to give you our thoughts of who we might consider tomorrow night, the Fighters and the Tigers would be off our list. So too would be the Lions and the Swallows. And I don't think we would consider doing the Bay Stars and the Buffaloes. We've already seen that, but possibly Fuji of the Hawks against Tomoyuki Sagano of the Giants. That could be a vintage matchup. Or possibly the matchup between Sasaki and Kurihara of the Marines and the Carp. There's a fastball that misses down, but we'll have to give some thought to that and see what we maybe come up with tomorrow. So 1 ball and no strikes it is to Takioka as he bats here with a runner at third and 2 gone. And here comes the 1-0 offering. It is a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into shallow left field. Lots of room and space for the left fielder, Wakabayashi. He's going to make the grab and put it away, and that will do it here for the Swallows in their half of the inning. Well, they got a leadoff hustle double from Domingo Santana, and they strand him at third. No runs in the inning. There was the hit. There was no errors, and one runner left the board. We're now through 1.5. Your score is the Lions 0 and the Swallows 0. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be back with the call at the bottom of the second inning in just a couple of moments. Our friend Spaceman V is here. So is Steve Rademacher. We'll be back here in just a couple of moments. Appreciate everybody for jumping in here with us.
Oh, hello. Oh, hey. Yep. I'm just sitting here listening to Freddie call another game here on YouTube. Oh, yeah, going really good. He's calling a great game. Really exciting. Lots of stuff going on. You're lucky it's commercial break right now. I got a second. Oh, yeah, of course I'm having a cold one. Oh, yeah, got plenty of videos coming up this week. You should stop in, check them out, leave a like, tell other people. But, Freddie's coming back. I got to go catch the game. I will check in with you later. You have a good night, buddy. Bye.
Appreciate you there, Steve, and the support you give to our channel. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be back in just a few with all the action after this. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the 4, 5, and 6 hitters to come to bat for the Lions. And the first pitch delivered to Kento Watanabe is a fastball that swung on and missed, and the count is quickly 0-1. Watanabe hitting in the cleanup spot tonight, hitting .227 with a homer and 4 RBIs. Takes a fastball down, and the count goes even to 1-1. I don't know what it is about the Lions when they recruit their players, but when I think of Yamakawa and Nakamura, the two bookend tackles that they have, well, Watanabe is of a similar profile. There is a breaking ball swung on. This ball is belted into deep left field. It's going to get down. It's off the wall. Digging for Hutz, too, is the big fella, and he's going to cruise in there with a stand-up double. And that is going to be a leadoff double here for Watanabe to begin the bottom of the second inning. If I can give you a visual picture, think of Daniel Vogelbach of the New York Mets, but a little bit shorter, but probably just as hefty. That's the best way I can describe Watanabe. And he is going to open it up with a double here to start the inning. And that's going to bring up the right fielder, Seiji Kawagawa. Well, for Kawagawa, he's batting .167 on the season. He's got a homer and 5 runs batted in. As he steps up to the plate here, ready to face the first offering from the lefty Ishikawa. As he waggles the bat, the lefty now comes to the set position. He delivers a first pitch fastball, taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. I say fastball with tongue firmly planted in cheek. It's about 130 some odd kilometers is what we have seen him top out at, Ishikawa, that is. And so that is not exactly what we would call a heater, but at 43 years old, he is not there to blow hitters away. He's there to hit spots and keep the hitters off balance. There's a breaking ball that misses down and away, and the count goes to 1-1, but he certainly has a lot of slop to throw up to the plate. So here comes the 1-1 pitch. As the lefty kicks and delivers, it's a breaking ball waved at and missed. The count now goes to 1-2. You don't have to necessarily throw hard to get people out, but certainly having the speed definitely is a lot of help. You can always make up for mistakes that you make when you have a little bit of juice on that fastball. And now Ishikawa steps off the backside of the rubber. And he's going to reach for the rosin bag, and we're going to have to do this all over again. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. It's a breaking ball that misses down. A good stop there by the catcher, Nakamura. It's going to run the count now to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to the left-handed hitting center or left-handed hitting right fielder, and there's a breaking ball taken for a called third strike. And down goes Kawagawa for the first out of the inning. He stood there like the house by the side of the road and watched it go by for out number 1. So 1 up, 1 away here with the runner at second, and that's going to bring up the center fielder, Shinya Hasegawa. Well, for Hasegawa on the season, he's batting .235. He's got 3 homers and 4 runs driven in. Bats here tonight against the left-handed throwing Ishikawa. I'm really excited to be able to see this particular stadium when I get a chance to go. There is a breaking ball that misses inside. Off to third goes the runner, Watanabe, and he gets thrown out by about 2 or 3 steps. The big fella, I guess he thought he could probably take the bag. That's going to be caught stealing. That reminds me of the Daniel Vogelbach commercial. Caught stealing 2-5 for the second out of the inning. Going to get that again. He had a huge jump, but a good throw there by the catcher ended up, and he slid about 3 feet short of the base. So there's a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count now goes to 1-1 on Hasegawa. You're already in scoring position. The big fella thought it would be in the best interest to take that bag. I don't know, a base knock here, and you've got yourself possibly a 1-0 lead. As there's a breaking ball that misses up and away, and the count now goes to 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike. Waggling the bat is Hasegawa, waiting here on the offering from the lefty. Kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball that misses outside, and the count now goes to 3-1. So 3 balls and 1 strike it is. There's the 3-1 offering, and squaring to bunt is Hasegawa, and he bunts through it, and that's going to be a strike here, as looked like he had squared and was already committed. So now it's 3 balls and 2 strikes. I don't know what he was trying to do there. It looked like he was wanting to maybe drag it down the third base line, and he completely whiffed on the pitch. So 3 balls and 2 strikes it is, which is maybe not a bad idea in the long haul to see if the veteran pitcher can get off the mound and cover his position. And there's a breaking ball that misses down and in, and that's going to be ball 4. Hasegawa's got himself a walk. That is going to bring up the second baseman, Shota Hiranuma. Well, for Hiranuma, on the season, he is hitting .333. He's got a homer and a couple RBIs. So he'll bat here from the left side against the left-handed throwing Ishikawa. For Hiranuma, batting .333 is 15 for 45, and he takes a fastball on the outside corner, just off the outside corner for a ball, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes it is. Left-hander against the left-hander. Ishikawa now throws over to first base, and getting back easily is the base runner Hasegawa. I'm curious to see what kind of pitch count they might have Ishikawa on here this evening. Going to let him stretch it out, or if they're going to maybe cut him a little bit short. Again, they throw over to first base, and again, easily getting back in time as the base runner. So 1 ball and no strikes. Establishing his lead over at first is the base runner, Hasegawa. And again, they throw over to first base, and again, diving back in time as the base runner. No surprises here, that's for sure. Left-hander against the left-hander. There's a slow breaking ball that cuts across, and the count now goes even at 1-1 to Hiranuma. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Ishikawa, the lefty, leans in, gets his sign from his catcher, Nakamura, and again he throws over to first base, and again getting back in time as the base runner, Hasegawa. Hasegawa's only got 1 stolen base on the year, but they are paying abnormally particular attention to him. Here's the pitch. It is a breaking ball, swung on it, is grounded over to first, fielded neatly by Osuna. He's going to step on the bag himself, and that is going to do it. A ground out to 3 for the 3rd out of the inning. Well, the Lions threaten with a leadoff double, but that's erased on the caught stealing. They had no runs in the inning. There was a hit, no errors, and there was a runner left aboard. We are now through 2 complete innings. It is the Lions nothing, the Swallows nothing. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be back in just a few with all the action after this. Appreciate you guys for being here. Our friend Trevor Parker says, how many out? That would be all 3 here at the bottom of the 2nd inning. We'll be right back after this.
Hello, this is Eric Fox, formerly of the Oakland A's and Texas Rangers baseball teams. If you want to learn about Japanese baseball, see Coach Fred with Last Raps Baseball. If you want baseball instruction, see Coach Fred. If you want to learn about golf, do not go to Coach Fred. Fred, what kind of club is this?
At Last Raps Baseball, we know baseball.
Welcome back, everybody. We are now moving to the top half of the third inning, and it'll be the top of the order to come to bat for the Swallows. That means Yamada, Uchiyama, and Kawabata. I began the ball game by saying we were talking about putouts by the pitchers, or maybe not putouts, just plays that they're going to be involved in over the course of a ball game, and we're seeing around between 22 and 25%. We have noticed on certain levels here in small sample sizes. As the first pitch from Kona Takahashi is a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is 0-1 to Yamada. Yamada batting .237 on the season, 7 homers, 17 RBIs. Swings at a breaking ball, and that's going to be lifted into the seats over on the first base side. The count goes to 0-2. So if we keep our eye tonight on the number of putouts and the number of plays, right now it is 1 for 5 here for Kona Takahashi. So there's a breaking ball that misses upstairs, and that's going to be 1-2. So right now he's at the 20% rule. And what we've done with that is take away the number of strikeouts. So once you remove the strikeouts from the tally, then you get the rest of the putouts that they'll be involved in. As there's a breaking ball that misses upstairs, the count is now 2-2. So why is that important? Well, you have to think if the pitcher is fielding or involved in 20% of the potential outs, he's got to be able to take care of his position, got to be able to field it, got to be able to throw it, got to be able to work on their footwork. There's a breaking ball swung on, it has popped up right in front of home plate. Not a very good job by the catcher there of Yuto Koga getting rid of his mask. He almost stepped on his helmet. Usually what you see they'll do is they'll make the turnaround, they'll establish where the ball is, and then they'll get rid of their mask or rid of their helmet in a different direction. But Koga almost stepped on it as he got rid of it right at his feet. So Yamada gone for the first out of the inning. That's going to bring up the center fielder, Soma Uchiyama. Uchiyama singled his first time up, and he was stranded at second base. Here's the pitch. It's a breaking ball that misses upstairs for ball 1, and the count is 1-0. 1 ball and no strikes it is. Uchiyama singled in the first inning. He's raised his season average to .214. He does have those 3 homers and 10 runs batted in. Here comes the 1-0. As Takahashi delivers, it's a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count now goes to 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes. Takahashi ready to go back to work as he leans in and gets the sign from his catcher, and now he kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball swung on it. It's grounded over to short. Genda fields it on the run. He throws to first. Oh, that's a nice play by Suzuki Genda. Suzuki Genda had to go into the 6 hole. He did a pretty good job as he had to circle the ball because the ball was not hit hard. He was able to come through the ball, and he threw a 1-hopper over to first base to retire Uchiyama. He's going to be gone for the second out of the inning. Ground out 6-3. We got 2 in the books, and that's now going to bring up the designated hitter, Shingo Kawabata. Well, for Kawabata, he's 0 for 1 in this one. He's batting .413 on the season, and here comes the first offering from the right-hander Takahashi, who delivers a fastball for a called strike. The count is 0-1. No balls and 1 strike it is. Right-hander against the left-hander, and as Takahashi delivers, it's a breaking ball that misses down. It looked like it may have hit somebody. It may have been the umpire. As he walks gingerly back behind the catcher, he says he's ready to go, and that's going to run the count now to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike it is. As the righty Takahashi holds set. Now he kicks and delivers. It's a fastball taken for a called strike. Count is 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes it is. Right-hander, again, Takahashi kicks and delivers. It's a fastball that's swung on and fouled away. Count is 1 ball and 2 strikes to Kawabata. You're in the dog days, or starting to say the dog days of summer. That's usually what I think of as August. But when I think of the dog days in these games here, it could be this time of the year. There's a split finger pitch swung on and missed, and that is going to retire Kawabata for the third out of the inning. And that is going to do it here for the Swallows as they go 1-2-3. I'll talk about the dog days when I get back in just a couple moments. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. Your score after 2.5, it is the Swallows nothing and the Lions nothing. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be back with the call just a couple moments after this. Appreciate you all for jumping in here with us. Here's another one of our musical tunes. Welcome back, everybody. We are going to be moving to the bottom half of the third inning. It's going to be the 8, 9, and 1 hitters to come to bat for the Lions. Neither one of these teams offensively have looked like they are going to do damage here tonight. They've had a couple of doubles to lead off innings, but they have shown no interest in wanting to bang any of the runners home. It is going to be Koga, Wakabayashi, and Genda to get things going here for the Lions in their half of the inning. This game has got pitcher's duel written all over it, or it's got bad offense written all over it. Either way, I have a feeling we're going to be in here for a long one here tonight. Well, that's going to bring to the plate Koga, who's batting 176 on the season. He's got no homers and 3 RBIs, and he swings at a first pitch fastball and fouls it away. Count is quickly 0-1. As I said before, Ishikawa his fastballs are running up at 130 kilometers an hour. So that is not very much. I don't even know if that's going to be 70 miles an hour. As there is a fastball swung on, popped up over on the second base side. And that is going to be cut by Tetsudo Yamada. It's going to retire Koga for the first out of the inning. So 1 up and 1 away, and that's going to bring up Kikuta Wakabayashi. But at the same time, it also goes back to the theory you don't have to throw hard to get people out. People will get themselves out, or players will get themselves out. That's kind of what we're witnessing here is he's around the zone, he's throwing strikes, and the Lions are befuddled. They can't seem to put good swings on the pitches. So curious to see how long they stay with him tonight. There's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. One would have to think that with his average of 4 2/3 or so innings pitched per ball game, as there's a fastball swung on, this ball is belted into the netting foul down the left field line. That's going to run the count to no balls and 2 strikes. Action in the wrong bullpen. Action is in the side of a Seibu Lion bullpen. Certainly, if I'm getting my seats, I don't know if I want to sit down in the bullpen area. There's a breaking ball swung on and it's tapped foul over on the third base side, and that's going to run the count now, or going to keep the count at no balls and 2 strikes. Although that being said, I wouldn't mind necessarily watching some of the pitchers throw and warm up and get some video on them. Can be able to apply some of that stuff for future pieces that we have here. Here's the pitch. It's a breaking ball swung on. It's taken on 1 hop by the shortstop, Tekioka, who throws to first. That is going to retire the batter, Wakabayashi, on a ground out 6-3. So 2 up and 2 away, and that's going to bring up the top of the order in Suzuki Genda. Well, for Genda, he is 0 for 1 tonight. He has flown out to left field his first and only time up. Genda, of course, missed quite a bit of the early part of the season. He's only been playing for the last 2.5 weeks. So he is getting the nod at shortstop tonight, the captain of the Lions. Here's the first pitch. It is a breaking ball that misses down and away, and the count is 1 ball and no strikes. He's 11 for 50 on the season. His average has dropped to 220, and there is a breaking ball that just misses, and the count is a 1-1. Or check that, count now goes to 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes to Genda. There is a slow breaking ball that catches the inside corner, and the count now goes to 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike to Genda. There's a fastball swung on. It is grounded on 1 hop to short. What a great play by the shortstop. Takioka going into the 6-hole, dives, makes the play, and fires it across the diamond to get his opposite number in Genda on a ground out 6-3. Oh, that'll make the Instagram highlight reels for sure. And Genda's gone for the 3rd out of the inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left aboard. We are now through 3 complete innings in Seibu. Your score, it's the Swallows 0 and the Lions 0. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back here in just a couple moments. And I've got our friend Undrafted Player in the house. As he's listening in, we'll be right back and chat it up with him when we return right after this.
Hello, this is Eric Fox, formerly of the Oakland A's and Texas Rangers baseball teams. You want to learn about Japanese baseball? See Coach Fred of Last Raps Baseball. If you want baseball instruction, see Coach Fred. If you want to learn about golf, do not go to Coach Fred. Fred, what kind of club is this?
At Last Raps Baseball, we know baseball.
That's right, everybody. At Last Raps Baseball, we know baseball, but we also know good plays when we see it. And that was a heck of a play by the shortstop of the Yakult Swallows in that last half inning. Genda did a good job going the other way. A fantastic diving play by the shortstop, Takioka, moving to his right into the 6th hole, getting up and making the play across the diamond. That deserved a round of applause. He sure got it from his pitcher, Ishikawa. Well, we're moving to the top of the 4th inning, and it is going to be the heart of the batting order coming up for the Swallows. It's going to be Murakami, Aoki, and Santana to face the right-hander Kona Takahashi. As we mentioned, our good friend, Undrafted Player in the house here tonight. He says it's his Saturday morning, and he is listening and learning about the NPB. And there's the first pitch, breaking ball, swung on and missed by Murakami, and the count is 0-1. Murakami walked his first time up, batting .227 on the season with those 11 homers and 34 runs batted in. Here's the pitch. It is a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count goes to even at 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. We're getting a chance here to watch the Lions in action here as the right-hander Takahashi is ready to go again. Here's the 1-1. It's a fastball that catches the inside corner, and the count now goes to 1-2. Got to tip your hat there to Takahashi. Definitely hit his spot there. Murakami didn't like the call, but to be honest with you, the call that he got ball 4 on in the first at bat was rather generous from the home plate umpire. So here comes the 1-2 pitch. As the righty delivers, it's a split finger pitch, swung on and missed. And Murakami is down on strikes. He is gone for out number 1 here in the 4th inning. That's going to bring up the left fielder, Nori Aoki. Aoki 0 for 1 tonight. He grounded to second his first time up. As he comes to bat here to face the right-handed throwing Kona Takahashi. As we said, Takahashi, both these pitchers have interesting gloves. Takahashi with a really bright green glove really has no bearing or to of the colors that the Lions wear. So that fastball swung on and fouled away. The count is 0-1 to Aoki. On the flip side, Ishikawa, very similar. He's got a bright blue glove. which doesn't necessarily fit in with the Swallows stuff. There's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike. It's now 0-2 to Aoki. Takahashi is in a groove. 51 pitches here so far in his 3 1/3+ innings of work. There's a fastball swung on. It's grounded foul just past the bag at third base. It's going to keep the count at 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes it is. Right-hander ready to go again as he works to the set position. And now he kicks and delivers. It's a fastball that misses down and away, and the count goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Left-handed hitting Nori Aoki, waiting here on the offering from the right-hander Takahashi, who works to the set position. Even though there's nobody on, he throws from that set. There's a split finger pitch that is down. They appeal quickly to the third base umpire, but they say that he didn't go. That's going to keep the count at, it's going to run the count to 2 balls and 2 strikes. We had a look at the replay on that one, and I think we want to get another replay look at that one because it sure looked like to us that Aoki had gone around. Maybe another veteran call for the veteran left fielder. So here comes the 2-2 as Takahashi ready to deliver. He kicks and he fires. It's a fastball that misses down and in. It's going to run the count now to 3-2. Well, the way Aoki was moving, he thought it was either ball 4 or he was hit by the pitch. But the home plate umpire has to reel him back. Somewhere along the lines, he lost in translation. It goes 1, 2, 3, and 4, and not 1, 2, and 4. I think he thought it was ball 4. So 3 balls and 2 strikes it is as the right-hander Takahashi gets his sign, and now he's ready to go to work again. It's a breaking ball swung on, and it's tap foul over on the first base side. And the count is going to remain at 3-2. Aoki is able to really battle here. He's always been one of those type of hitters. He's a tough out. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. As the righty holds set. And now he kicks and delivers. It is a breaking ball down. They appeal over to the third base umpire, but they say he didn't go, and that is going to be ball 4. Nori Aoki is going to be aboard with a 1-out walk. That's only the second free pass issued tonight by the starter Takahashi. Takahashi, in his 73+ innings of work now this year, he's allowed 21 walks. Not so bad. On the flip side, Masanori Ishikawa, only 1 walk allowed in his 24 innings coming into tonight's game. He did, however, walk a batter in the second inning. So 2 in 27 innings. That's pretty solid. That brings up Domingo Santana. For Santana on the season, he's got his average pulled up to 287. He had a hustle double in the second inning. Really impressed by Santana. There's a breaking ball taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1. Certainly didn't see Santana as the type that would be running hard out of the box and being able to get himself a hustle double, but that's exactly what he did. Able to beat the throw from the center fielder of the Lions, Shinya Hasegawa. Even though Hasegawa's throw was a pretty good throw, there's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count goes even to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. As we said, we'll post up tomorrow early. We'll make a decision. I have to look at the weather. If Hiroki Sasaki will be our feature against the Carp, or if it's going to be the other ball game with the Giants and the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks. There's a breaking ball missing down, and the count now goes to 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike. As we said, a pretty healthy crowd in Saitama tonight for this one. So here comes the 2-1. As the right-hander now works to the set position. And here comes the pitch. It's on the way, and it's a breaking ball that misses down and away, and the count goes now to 3-1 on Santana. Neither of these two teams, when they have had runners in scoring position, have really threatened with the bats. Look at the Swallows lineup tonight, and I think that the offensive lineup here against Takahashi is far better than the offensive lineup that the Lions have put forward against the Yakult Swallows. And here's the pitch. It is a fastball that just misses inside. That's going to be ball 4. And Santana's going to get himself a walk. That's going to put runners at first and second. It's going to bring up the catcher, Yuhei Nakamura. So our friend undrafted player asked the question, who are the bigger name about the Tokyo Yakult Swallows or the Seibu Lions? So he looked at their rosters and really didn't know anybody. Well, if I break it down in this regard, I'll look at the Lions first. The Lions, probably their bigger names are their bigger ones this year. Shuta Tonosaki, who's designated hitting tonight. He is having himself a decent year. He's been playing second base. David McKinnon, the former Oakland Athletic, who has joined the Lions this year for his first season. I do like their catcher, Senisuge. He's getting a chance to catch, not tonight, though, but now with Tomoyo Mori being dealt. I would also say Suzuki Genda, the shortstop, who's their captain. He was on the World Baseball Classic team for Japan. And here's the first pitch that is delivered to Nakamura. It's a split finger pitch, swung on and missed. The count is 0-1. So offensively, those would be the players that I would probably lean toward and say these are the guys that, not that they're necessarily household names, but bigger names. As far as the pitching is concerned, Kaimataira has been very, very good. Dietrich Enns has been average at best. Here comes the 0-1 offering. It's a breaking ball swung on, his grounded past the pitcher into center field, and that's going to score a run. Rounding third and heading home as the ball has been cut off is Nori Aoki, and that is going to put the Swallows up 1-0. An RBI single by Nakamura. We were talking about pitchers fielding their position. There was an opportunity right there for Takahashi as that ball ended up getting by him. It had eyes. Brings in the first run of the ball game, and it's going to have runners at first and second with one gone, and it'll bring up the first baseman, Jose Osuna. So that's who I would probably say. Also, Kono Takahashi, the starter here, as we said, along with Kaimataira and Dietrich Enns, probably the three bigger names for the Lions. As far as the Swallows are concerned, they would probably cash in with some much more bigger names. Tetsudo Yamada, the second baseman, big time money put into that player. You also have other Japanese star, Nori Aoki, the left fielder. Lots of time. He spent time in the big leagues for a few seasons. Then you got former big leaguer Domingo Santana, and of course now at the plate, Jose Osuna, who are making names for themselves. And then Munetaka Murakami, who was the home run champion last year and Triple Crown winner in the Central League. So those players in particular there would be ones that would stand out. There's a fastball delivered to Osuna. Take it for a called strike. The count is 0-1. On the mound for the Yakult Swallows, hard to say who we would probably look at. Cy Snead and Dylan Peters, the North American names. And then you got Agawa as well. Probably those ones would stand out a little bit more than most. There's a fastball swung on and grounded foul over on the third base side. The count now goes to 0-2 on Ozuna. They have other arms as well, but I'm not exactly sure how I would classify some of those other ones. We don't see the Central League a whole ton. Those are the names, at least that come to my mind, that would probably be there as well. So runners at first and second with one gone here, and there's a breaking ball that's taken for a called strike, and that's going to retire Osuna on a called third strike. He's gone for the second out of the inning, and that'll bring up the shortstop, Ryusei Takioka. Well, for Takioka, he is 0 for 1 tonight. He has made some sensational plays at shortstop. But he had flown out to left field his first and only time here against Takahashi. So Takioka strides to the plate. His average has dropped to 257 now on the season, the left-handed hitting shortstop. Here comes the pitch. It is a breaking ball that misses down and away, and the count is 1-0 to Takioka. No problem to our friend undrafted player. It's our pleasure to do that. Hopefully you'll be tuning in with us when we're in Japan, less than 10 weeks away. We will be in the land of the rising sun. Excited to bring you some action and live footage. As there is a throw over to first, and it's unbelievable. They're going to pick off Yuhei Nakamura, the runner at first base. That's not very good at all. They came in on the backdoor side. Nice play there by the first baseman to sneak in behind him. They weren't really holding him, but he had fallen asleep over there as Kento Watanabe comes in. It was a timing play, and they're able to retire him on a pickoff. It's going to go down 1-3. We talk about fielding our position, and there is an example of it right there. That is the second time in the put-out department that Takahashi is going to be involved in a play. So that'll do it here. They got a run in the inning on 1 hit, no error, and 1 runner left aboard. We are now moving to the bottom of the 4th inning. Your score is the Swallows won the Lions. No score. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be back in just a few. Appreciate you for listening in here with us. We'll be right back to chat with the chat after this.
Thank you, Freddie. Appreciate your support and everybody out there. Steve again here, obviously, with the Milwaukee Brewers. Of course, we have Bernie Brewer on my favorite beverage of choice right there, along with a card of Bernie. Yay! Now, we got some special guests here. I'm not just talking about our Hall of Fame lineup. I must be in the front row. Hey, come on there, Robin. I got 3,000 hits. What do you have? Well, I was the all-time saves leader, and I got 1.5 feet on you. Okay, Raleigh, settle down, buddy. Now, none of this could be possible without Harvey's Wallbangers. There's Harvey. And who could forget the Fonz? Hey.
Appreciate you there, Steve, and your support of the channel, as always, as we support Steve Rademacher. It is going to be the bottom of the 4th inning here, as it will be Tonosaki, McKinnon, and Watanabe to come to bat. We're still waiting for the catcher, Nakamura, to come out of the dugout after having to redress himself after he was undressed and picked off at first base there to end the last half of the 4th inning for the Swallows. Ishikawa been very economical, 37 pitches in his 3 innings of work. He has been absolutely great, and only 1 hit allowed so far. We've got our friend Shrambini Tennis. We got Yannick in the house. We welcome you into the stream. We appreciate you for being here. Hopefully you're feeling a little bit better today, as we've got some tennis going on, as it is the French Open. If you guys are into the French Open and you want to be entertained, go see Yannick over at his channel, and hopefully he's feeling better, that he can give you a pretty good call on that one. There's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike on Shuta Tonosaki. Count is 0-1. We don't have any tennis balls for you here in this one, Yannick, but we may have some baseballs coming up shortly that you can add to your name. There's a fastball that swung on and fouled away. The count now is no balls and 2 strikes to Tonosaki. Our friend undrafted player says, I remember now about Nori Aoki when he was with the Texas Rangers. I don't remember him so much with Texas. There's a fly ball that's lifted into right field. Moving over underneath it is Santana, and he's going to make the grab. And that is going to retire Tonosaki for the first out of the inning. So 1 up and 1 away. And that is going to bring up the third baseman, David McKinnon. I remember Aoki more with the Houston Astros. He spent some time with the Blue Jays and the Mets. He was also a Milwaukee Brewer. My friend Trevor says he has Muchova for 900. I honestly really don't know much about that particular player. There's a breaking ball taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1 to David McKinnon. McKinnon 0 for 1 tonight. He has flown out to center field, his first and only time up. As the lefty Ishikawa delivers a breaking ball, this ball is spanked into left field, giving chase and making the grab is Aoki as he runs into the wall. What a great grab by the left fielder. Able to run that down. McKinnon will be a little bit choked as that was hit really hard. But it found the glove of the left fielder, and he's gone for out number 2. So 2 up and 2 away, and that's going to leave it up to the first baseman, Kento Watanabe. Trevor Parker says he put $20 down at plus 4,500. That's pretty good. Obviously, much of not having a chance to get there, you have to be doing something right. As that fastball is swung on and fouled away, and the count is now 0-1. For those of you who don't know, Yannick had coached Iga Swiatek in the German Bundesliga. And of course, they had the Bundesliga for tennis as well. There's a breaking ball that misses inside. When you think of Bundesliga, for most people, it comes to mind, it is the soccer. But they have a Bundesliga for baseball. They have similar for basketball and other sports. There's the 1-1 pitch. There's a breaking ball that misses down and in, and the count is now 2-1. So Iga was involved, if I'm not mistaken, on Yannick's team. If that would be correct, you can correct me if I'm wrong. So 2 balls and 1 strike. And there's a breaking ball swung on and missed. The count now goes to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. So here's the offering from Ishikawa. It's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into left center field. Moving over underneath it is the left fielder, Aoki. He's battling the light coming off of the dome roof, but he's going to be able to make the grab, and that is going to do it. As Watanabe is retired for the 3rd out of the inning. And the Lions go quietly. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. We are now through 4 complete. It is the Swallows 1 and the Lions no score. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with the call at the top of the 5th in just a moment. And yes, Yannick, I'm working on something for you that'll look a little something like this.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying the game. My name is Hollis. I've got a YouTube channel called Another Hollis Build. I love baseball cards. I open up brand new product for you guys. I open up old stuff. I do breaks. I do auctions. All kinds of stuff concerning baseball. I'm Friars faithful, Padres to the end. I also love Garbage Pail Kids and my animals. I have a ton of animals. It's like a mini petting zoo here around my house. I also love my city. San Diego, baby. I take you all around the city and show you what's up. If you guys dig stuff like that, cruise on over and check it out. It's Another Hollis Build. If you dig it, subscribe. I'd really appreciate to have more follow me along on the journey. Hey, either way, you guys have a wonderful day or a beautiful, beautiful evening. No matter which one it is, make sure that you make it great, my friends. Big up Last Raps Baseball. Yeah, Freddie, let's go. One love and peace. Yeah, man.
Welcome back, everybody. That's our good friend Matt Hollis. Be sure to check out Another Hollis Build after the ball game if you get a chance, as he does it San Diego style. Matt Hollis and Another Hollis Build. It is going to be the 9, 1, and 2 hitters to come to bat for the Swallows in their half of the 5th inning. It's going to be Ariusi Takioka at the top of the order, and Tetsuda Yamada and Soma Uchiyama to face the right-hander Kona Takahashi, who has 68 pitches to his name through 4 innings. He is not as economical as his counterpart, Ishikawa. And here comes the first pitch. It is a breaking ball that misses upstairs. The count is 1-0. Takioka was at bat in the last half inning when they picked off Nakamura to end the inning. So it is 1 ball and no strikes here. The left-handed hitting shortstop, who's had himself quite a day defensively. Our friend Yannick says he needs to do a trailer for his channel. well, even a trailer or something else, like as we said before, we try to keep it a little bit entertaining. So when you have a break on your hands and you need a minute to go to the bathroom or whatever it is, there's a breaking ball that swung on and missed. And the count goes to 1-1. And I think about when Yannick is doing his tennis channel, he's not been feeling well the last few days. And his voice is a little bit on the fritz, so to speak. As there's a breaking ball that just misses upstairs. The count is 2-1. It's the same thing I find in doing the games here. I just need that little minute in between the innings, get myself a little drink, and I can relax and not have to say anything. And it really preserves the vocal cords. So here comes the 2-1 pitch. It's a fastball lifted into left field. Moving over underneath it and making the grab is the left fielder, and that is Wakabayashi, and that's going to retire Takioka for the first out of the inning. He's gone for out number 1. So 1 up and 1 away, and that'll bring up the top of the order in Tetsudo Yamada. And so, when you think about taking that little break and having that little bit of moment, certainly there's only so much vitamin C and orange juice and things that you can swallow down. So there's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 1-0 to Yamada, especially when you're sitting and talking for 3-4 hours at a crack to the folks that are listening to the channel. Here's the 1-0. It's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count is going to go even now at 1-1 strike to Yamada. So 1-1 strike. As the right-hander ready to go again, Takahashi delivers. It's a fastball that's waved at and missed. The count is now 1-2. I have to say, I have not seen a lot of Tetsudo Yamada over the last few years, but I have seen enough to say that this is not looking like a good Yamada. He is not swinging the bat very well right now. There's some ugly swings here at the plate. Here's the 1-2. It's a fastball that just misses outside, and the count now goes to 2-2. Oh, Takahashi wanted that pitch. He had a good spot. But hats off to the home plate umpire who held his ground. You're right. That was not a strike. So here comes the 2-2. It's a breaking ball waved at and missed. And Yamada goes into the books for the second out of the inning. 2 up and 2 away. That is going to bring up the center fielder, Soma Uchiyama. A friend and drafted player said that he was wrong with Aoki not being with the Rangers. He was confused with another player. Sometimes that happens. As I said, I remember him with Houston, Toronto. I think he might even had a spell with the Mariners. Bounced around at Major League Baseball. I know he was with the Brew Crew. He would have been in Steve Rademacher's camp at some point. Here's the pitch. It is a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 1-0 to Uchiyama. Of course, for those of you who aren't sure, Steve is definitely a Milwaukee Brewer fan. More fan of the Brewers than he is of Milwaukee. There's the 1-0 pitch, and it is a fastball swung on and lined right to the glove of the shortstop, Genda, and that is going to do it here in the 6th inning, as that'll be it for the Swallows. They go retired in order, 1, 2, 3. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left the board. We are now moving to the bottom of the 5th inning. Your score, it is the Tokyo Yakult Swallows 1 on the Seibu Seibu Lions no score. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a few right after this. From our friend, Steve Rademacher. Be sure after the game to check him out.
Hello, guys. Thank you for joining Freddie here on his baseball game. And I'm Steve Rademacher, and my channel is really all about everybody, including all my international friends. We have such stuff as non-sport packs from Canada, the OP cheese. We have the Greek Freak. We have money from around the world. We have lira. We have yen. We have francs. We have pounds. We have Deutschmarks. We have all kinds of cool stuff like that. We even have some cooler things like Japanese women wrestlers and OP-Chi baseball cards where I cannot read the back. We even have unopened material like the royal family, I know it's backwards, from London, England. Thank you for watching. Back to Freddie.
Appreciate you there, Steve, and the support you give to our channel. And in turn, we'd like to support Steve Rademacher. Be sure to check him out after the ball game. This game here is skipping along at a pretty good pace. We have scoring updates from around the NPB. We'll get you up to speed as there is all the games are going on across the NPB tonight. Fighters are locked up at 3 with the Hanshin Tigers. That's in the top of the 4th inning. It is 1-0 for the Eagles over the Dragons. That is also in the top of the 4th. A 2-1 lead for the Marines over the Carp. That's in the bottom of the 4th inning. In the top of the 5th inning at the Kisara Dome, the Buffaloes have a 1-0 lead over the Bay Stars. And the Giants have a 6-3 lead over the Hawks. That game is in the top of the 4th inning. And the first pitch offered here to Seiji Kawagawa is a breaking ball taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1. Here, Ishikawa, 48 pitches. As he's 1 pitch into the 5th inning, there's a breaking ball that swung on and tapped foul. The count is 0-2. He has been drinking from the fountain of youth, has the lefty, as he has been able to keep the hitters off balance here for sure. So no balls and 2 strikes it is. As the lefty now kicks and delivers, there is a breaking ball swung on. It's tapped slowly over to second. Yamada feels it. He's going to have to hurry. They're going to retire the runner Kawagawa on a ground out 4-3. Oh, that was not looking easy over there. It looked like he took his time, did Yamada. But he is able to retire Kawagawa for the first out of the inning, and that's going to bring up the center fielder, Shinya Hasegawa. Well, Hasegawa tonight has a walk in his only trip to the plate. As the lefty leans in and he gets his sign. And here comes the first pitch. It is a fastball that catches the inside corner, and the count goes to 0-1. It kind of reminds me, there was a fella who used to play back east a long time ago, a minor leaguer. His name was Larry Fiola. There's a breaking ball swung on. This ball is going to be hooked down the left field line into the corner. Aoki's going to race in and get it. He's going to come up throwing. Here's the throw into second. It's not going to be in time. It's going to be a stand-up double for Hasegawa, as he's got himself a 1-out double here, and that'll bring up the second baseman, Shota Hiranuma. I was starting to say about this fella, Larry Fiola. Fiola played in the Detroit and the Pittsburgh organizations, and he's probably late into his 60s now, if not even into his early 70s. And what is interesting about Fiola is that he was playing right into his late 40s, almost into his early 50s. And when he threw, he used to be able to keep guys off balance in the local men's leagues and stuff like that. But really fun to watch because he was like a surgeon. He could work inside, outside, do a lot of things with his ability to be able to throw pitches. There's a breaking ball that misses down. The count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Hiranuma, 0 for 1 tonight, has grounded out to first, his only time up. As the lefty Ishikawa works to the set position and now delivers, it's a fastball taken for a called strike. Count now goes even to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike it is. 1 gone here with the runner at second. 1 ball and 1 strike to the hitters. Hasegawa establishing his lead over there at second base. As Hiranuma waiting on the 1-1 offering, and the pitch is on the way. It's a fastball swung on, it's grounded. Oh, what a play by Osuna at first base. He slides and he picks it as it took a wicked hop. It hit the dirt, and then off of the dirt, it take a strange bounce. Osuna was able to pick the ball up, and he's able to take it himself. That is going to retire Hiranuma for the first out of the inning. It's going to go down as a ground out to 3. What a fantastic play there by the big first baseman. Being able to call off the pitcher, take it himself. And out number 2 is Hiranuma, but it's going to advance Hasegawa over to third. That is going to bring up the catcher, Yuta Koga. Well, for Koga, he's 0 for 1. He had popped out to the second baseman his first time up. Right-handed hitter digging in here. Koga's average has slipped to 173 on the campaign, as he's batting here against the lefty Ishikawa, who holds set at the belt and now delivers. It's a slow breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is quickly 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike it is. A lot of ugly batting averages for both of these teams in the lineups tonight. The Lions have theirs scattered around a little bit better than the Swallows do. There's a breaking ball that is swung on and missed. The count is now 0-2. Entering into the ball game tonight, the Lions had 2 hitters in their order batting below 200. The Swallows had nobody, but they had a couple of players that were flirting with that mark. The much stronger batting lineup is for sure the Swallows tonight, but you wouldn't know it in this game. Here's the pitch. It is a breaking ball that misses down, and the count now goes to 1-2. Say that because there's not been a ton of hits, not a lot of stuff on the base paths. The Lions in this one have a pair of hits. The Hasegawa double here in this inning, paired with the double by Watanabe back in the second. Swallows have 3 hits. They have one by Uchiyama in the first, a double by Santana in the second, and then a single by Nakamura in the 4th inning. That's how it stands. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count now goes to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. As we said, it's a beautiful crowd. What's interesting about this stadium is it's a dome stadium, but it's an open air type dome, as there is spacing between the dome and then the upper level or the top part of the bowl of seating. So you get a cross flow of air that comes in. I'm curious to know what that would be like up top versus maybe down below. Are they going to get, is it going to be cool down below? Is it going to be warm? What's it like in the dome? Or if you're better off sitting at the top and getting a cross breeze. Here comes the 2-2. It's a fastball that just misses inside and backs the hitter Koga off the plate. That's going to run the count to 3-2. Just as a reminder, it is after this inning here, I like to call our Japanese halftime. That means that it is going to be a extended break between innings. So we'll put the music on loop. We'll get a chance to take a little time out and catch our breath before we come back in and give you the last 4 innings of this one. So 3 balls and 2 strikes it is here to Koga, as the lefty Ishikawa holds to the set position. He checks the runner and delivers. It is a breaking ball that is swung on and missed. The batter thinks he may have fouled it off, but nope, it is going to be strike 3 as Koga has been tagged for the 3rd out of the inning, and that will do it here. No runs in the inning. There was a hit, no errors, and 1 runner left aboard. We're now through 5 complete innings. Your score is the Swallows 1, the Lions no score. We're going to put the music on loop. We'll be back in a few. Hang tight, everybody. Appreciate you for being here. Welcome back, everybody. We are going to be cruising here to the 6th inning, and it is going to be the top or the 3, 4, and 5 hitters coming to bat for the Swallows. It is going to be Kawabata, Murakami, and Aoki to face the starter Kona Takahashi. Takahashi, 79 pitches through his 5 innings of work. One would have to think he's probably got a couple more innings left in him, or he's going to have to pass the torch. He is definitely not in line for the win yet, as the Lions have not been able to do anything offensively to give him a hand here. The first pitch is a breaking ball swung on. It is lifted into right field. Moving over underneath it is Kawagawa. He's going to make the grab. That is going to retire Kawabata with 1 pitch. There is 1 away here in the top of the 6th inning. I have to say, this ball game here has been on a fantastic clip. And of course, that's probably the announcer kiss of death, as it has been very, very good so far. Ishikawa, by all accounts, looks like he may be coming back in for yet another inning. He has been brilliant in his 5 innings of work. So this is going to bring up Munetaka Murakami, who tonight is officially 0 for 1. He's got a walk and a strikeout to his name. And here comes the first pitch. It is a fastball that just misses upstairs, and the count goes to 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. I have to say, I really don't know how he would play out in Major League Baseball. I know he has had that phenomenal season last year, the Triple Crown and everything. There's a split finger pitch that swung on and fouled away, and the count goes even to 1-1. I like Seiya Suzuki's game, and I like Yoshida's bat better than I do Murakami. Murakami, I just don't like his footwork at third. Although I have to say, I'm interested to see how that is going to play out. Here's the 1-1. It's a fastball swung on and missed. The count now goes to 1-2. And I'm not sure that he's going to be an everyday first baseman on a lot of clubs either. And how's he going to hit Major League pitching versus the Japanese pitching? So you're playing in yards in Japan, you hit 55. Is he going to hit 25 in North America? Here's the pitch, and it is a fastball that misses down, and the count goes to 2-2. I mean, I can't even put him in the class of Shohei Ohtani, what Ohtani is doing with the bat in Major League Baseball. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Murakami. Right-hander against the left-hander. Takahashi ready to go. Murakami waiting here on the offering. And now time is called as the batter Murakami is swatting away a bug that's in front of his face. That will drive you absolutely crackers. You're up at the plate, you're trying to concentrate, and you got a bug flying in front of you as you're ready to face a heater. Got Titus in the house tonight. Appreciate Titus for bouncing in here and stopping by. There's a fastball that just misses down, and the count is 3-2. Takahashi thought it was strike 3. But no siree, Bob, that is for sure. Titus, I'm going to have to get your contact information when we get a little bit closer to the time I'm heading over where you're going to be. I'm going to be in the Tokyo area from the 20th to the 28th, and then from the 28th until the 6th of September, I'm going to be in the Osaka area. Here's the 3-2 pitch. There's a breaking ball swung on. It is grounded through the 4-hole into right field. It's going to get past the glove of the first baseman, Watanabe, and it's going to be a base hit single here for Murakami. He's aboard with 1 gone. Our friend Trevor says, please for strike 3, but just couldn't put that one away by him. That's going to bring up Nori Aoki to the plate. I think more than anything, as long as it's not a ball that's going to head into the seats, that's more important than anything else. One thing I didn't ask Trevor Parker, I know where quite a few of the people are that listen, but I don't know where Trevor's listening from. Not sure where you call your home or your home state if you are in the US of A. Well, that brings up to the plate Aoki. Aoki with the walk, then scored the only run of the ball game. He's also grounded out to second. There's a breaking ball that misses outside, and the count is 1-0 to Aoki. Our friend Titus says he'll let me know. I'll shoot you a message through Instagram. Now, that's right. Trevor's in Illinois. I think I remember that before. We might have asked you at one point in time, and he probably had come forth with the Illinois. I know we have a few people from Illinois who listen in from the channel. As there's a breaking ball that misses outside, and that's going to run the count to 2-0. The great state of Illinois, well, or is it the great city of Chicago in Illinois, which is one of the fabulous places I like to visit when I'm in the Midwest. Get a chance to get some deep dish pizza, and Gino's East is usually number one on the hit list. Here comes the 2-0 pitch, as it is a breaking ball that just misses outside. The count goes to 3-0. Had a chance to see the Chicago Bears play live a couple of times. The greatest game I think I ever went to, well, one of the greatest games. You see a number of football games, number of sporting events in your life, and you go to games, and a lot of them you walk away from and you say, I can't remember it, don't want to remember it. Arguably one of the best football games I ever went to was at Soldier Field. There's a fastball that misses down. It's going to be ball 4. Aoki's aboard with a walk. That's going to advance Murakami over to second, and that's going to bring up the right fielder, Domingo Santana. It's also going to bring the pitching coach out of the Lions dugout to have a word with Kona Takahashi. I'm curious to see what's going to go on here. I don't know if they got a new ball, but Takahashi really hasn't looked the same in this last little bit here in this inning. Anyways, I was starting to say about being in Illinois, one of the greatest football games I ever saw live and in person would have been right after September 11th, the month after September 11th, back in 2001. I saw the Chicago Bears and the San Francisco 49ers. The 49ers had a 15-point lead going to the fourth quarter, and the Bears came back and tied it up. Went to overtime. Jeff Garcia was the quarterback. Terrell Owens was the receiver for the Niners. And on the first play of overtime, Garcia went back to pass. And Mike Brown picked off the pass and took it to the house. And it was back-to-back weekends he did it. I think he did it the following weekend or the weekend before against the Cleveland Browns. And he did it to Jeff Garcia, and they won the ball game in overtime for the Bears. Absolute fantastic finish. Great football game. There's a fastball swung on, is lifted softly into right field. Moving over underneath it and making the catch is Kawagawa. The runners are going to have to retreat. And that is going to retire Santana for the first time tonight, as he is gone for out number 2, and that's going to leave it all up to the catcher, Yuhei Nakamura. Our friend Yannick says he's going to have to leave, but maybe we will catch you later for the final. Not sure, Yannick, how I'm going to be there or not. The problem is I've got a full day tomorrow, and I got to get some sleep, and I got to get a rest in. But maybe I'll come back in and actually listen to the replay a little bit of it once that game has been done. So hopefully we can jump in and catch you when we can. But thanks for stopping by the channel here tonight for some Japanese baseball. So Yuhei Nakamura steps to the plate. He is officially 1-for-1 tonight. He had a single and an RBI. He was picked off at first his last time. He's also had a sacrifice bunt. He bats here with 2 out. And the first pitch is on the way. It's a fastball that just misses inside for ball 1, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Nakamura, the light-hitting catcher for the Swallows. Waiting here on the offering from Takahashi. It's a fastball that comes inside and screws Nakamura into the ground. That's going to run the count even to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike it is. Probably the other greatest football game that I attended would have been the Barry Sanders 2,000-yard game, where he went over 2,000 yards. And unfortunately for Barry Sanders in that game, or unfortunately for the Detroit Lions in that game, that was when they had their linebacker, Reggie Brown, broke his neck, almost died on the field. There's a fastball swung on it. It's grounded over to second. Fielded neatly by the second baseman, Hiranuma, who throws to first. That is going to retire Nakamura. It's going to be a ground out 4-3. And that is going to do it here in the top of the 6th inning. So they had no runs in the inning. There was a hit for the Swallows. There was no errors and 2 runners left the board. Now moving to the bottom of the 6th inning, your score is the Swallows 1 and the Lions no score. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be back in just a few minutes with all the action right after this. Appreciate you guys for being here with us tonight. There's another one of our musical timeouts. Hopefully you guys enjoy it like we do. We'll be right back after this one here. Welcome back, everybody. We are moving to the bottom half of the 6th inning, and coming to bat here for the Lions will be the 9, 1, and 2 hitters in the batting order. That means Wakabayashi, Genda, and Tonosaki to face the savvy veteran left-hander Ishikawa, as he is going to be coming back out to start his 6th inning work. I would think that he is going to be on high alert here between now and the rest of the ball game. But he's just been so good for the first 5 innings. How can you not let him roll out for number 6? As we would expect that probably anything beyond the 6th inning of work, it would probably not going to happen. So we'll see how he's going to fare here. 9, 1, and 2 in the batting order. And he has been equally as dominant the first time through as he is the second time through. Here comes the first offering to Wakabayashi. It's a fastball that misses up and away for ball 1, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes it is. All of the games are underway here in the interleague play. There is not a chance for us to do a double dip tonight. Haven't done a double header yet this year. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away. You're going to have to examine the possibility of that. As we move into the summer months, we are going to have some challenges as we will be away at times. There's a breaking ball swung on and missed. The count goes to 1-2 on Wakabayashi. This weekend, we're calling games. We're going to call some games in the midweek next week, but we are going to be away next weekend, so not going to be able to do any of that stuff. Our friend Trevor says, let's do it. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is belted into deep left field. Moving back onto the warning track and making the catch is Aoki. Oh, he sent it a long way, did Wakabayashi, but just not long enough. And he is going to be retired here for the first out of the innings. So 1 up and 1 away. That's going to bring up the top of the order in Suzuki Genda. The Japanese doubleheaders, we were doing them a bit last year. But as we start to move into the month of July and into August, we will consider running some off on either a Friday or a Saturday night. And Trevor says making the catch is Aoki. Absolutely. That was a great grab. There's a first pitch breaking ball over to Genda for a called strike. And the count is 0-1. Genda tonight 0 for 2. He has flown out to left field and he is grounded to short. It has been a busy night for Nori Aoki. He's already had 4 putouts in left field. There's a breaking ball that misses outside. The count is 1-1. Obviously, left field is not necessarily what we would call a ball handling position, but tonight Aoki has been a busy man. There's a breaking ball swung on and tap foul over on the first base side, and the count now goes to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Beautiful crowd here tonight for this one. I don't know if there's an empty seat in the house. Oryx Buffaloes, take note of that. Lots of missing people in their seats last night. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. It is a fastball that misses down and away, and the count now goes to 2-2 on Genda. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Genda. with Shuta Tonosaki waiting his turn on deck. Trevor wants to know if we know the pitch count for Ishikawa. There's a ground ball that swung on. It's tapped over to the first baseman. Osuna waits for it behind the bag. He steps on the base, and that is going to retire Genda on the ground out to 3 for out number 2. So 2 up and 2 away, and that is going to bring up the designated hitter, Tonosaki. To answer Trevor's question, I don't at the immediate, but I can get it for you here in just a moment. So if you bear with me for a second, Trevor, I'll be able to help you out with that. Because they do flash it. Only problem is our screen has been a little bit grainy here lately, and it looks like that he is probably at about 70 pitches right now. There's a first pitch fastball taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1. I think that was pitch number 71 there. I'll have to double check on it. I don't see it, even though I got my glasses on. I don't know if it is that or not. There's a breaking ball that just misses, and the count now goes even at 1-1. That's exactly what it looks like. 72 now pitches in the books here. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Shuta Tonosaki. Here comes the pitch. It's a breaking ball swung on and tapped foul over on the third base side. The count now is 1 ball and 2 strikes. We have our backup feed. Yeah, it's going to be 73 pitches coming up here for the right-handed, or already 73 pitches. Pitch number 74 is about to happen here. Here's the offering from Ishikawa, who kicks and delivers. It is a fastball swung on. It's going to be lined into left field for a base hit. And Tonosaki is going to be aboard with a 2-out single. That's going to bring up the third baseman, David McKinnon. Trevor says 70 pitches is nothing. The problem is the pitcher's 43 years old, or about to be 43 years old. And so I don't know how much life he's got left, let alone how much he had life to begin with in this one. And they are out to the mound here. I don't know if we're going to see the end of Ishikawa or not here. It looks like that is going to be it. That is going to be him. And that is just as on cue. That is going to be the end of the night for the lefty Ishikawa, as he's going to walk off the mound to an ovation from the Swallow fans in attendance, as well as his ball club that is here to support him and greet him as he walks off the field. 74 pitches in 5 2/3 innings tonight, and his night is over. They are going to the bullpen, are the Swallows. And we're going to get you an update here in just a couple moments, and we're going to come back. Poor Trevor Parker's probably losing his mind right now. That is where it stands here. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be right back. It's certainly in Japanese baseball. 74 pitches is nothing, but not tonight. Here's one of our Did You Knows. We have a pitching change here, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple moments after this. Here's our friend Steve.
Hey, guys. While the manager's searching for a relief pitcher, let me help you with some relief channels. On top of mine and Freddy's, you can always check out Redbeard Breaks, Zero Fox Sports. You know another Hollis build? Check them out again. Maybe Beast and Beauty Breaks, or even Dab's Family. Oh, looks like they have their pitcher, so after the game, check out some other videos by Freddy. They're fun, they're cool. Enjoy the game, peace out, and cheers!
Welcome back, everybody. It's going to be Hiroki Onishi coming into the ball game here to replace the starter Masanori Ishikawa, whose day is over. He is responsible for the runner at first, as there is 2 gone here in the inning. So it'll be David McKinnon, who the right-hander is entrusted to face. And the first pitch is a fastball swung on, grounded to short. They flip it to second. And that is going to do it. It's going to be a fielder's choice to end the inning, and that'll go in the books as a 6-4 fielder's choice to retire Tonosaki. Well, they had no runs in the inning. There was a hit, no errors, and there was one runner left aboard. You're now moving to the top of the 7th inning. Your score is the Swallows 1, the Lions no score. Hang tight, everybody. The Swallow fans are in attendance and got the umbrellas out. They're doing themselves a little dance here in Seibu. We'll be back here in just a couple moments. We appreciate you guys for hanging with us tonight.
Well, you got to have an ace in the hole, a little secret that nobody knows. Life is a gamble, a game we all play, but you've got to save something for a rainy day. You've got to learn to play your cards right if you expect to win in life. Don't put it all on the line for just one roll. You've got to have an ace in the hole.
Welcome back, everybody. We appreciate you for being here. That's the one thing that we see in the NPB we don't see in Major League Baseball, the road mascots, and for that matter, the road cheerleaders out leading the cheers in between innings. It is the home stadium for the Seibu Lions, but the Swallow fans have their umbrellas out, and they are dancing up and down in the stands. It looks like a Louisiana funeral as they got the umbrellas out, and they are doing their umbrella dance song. And the mascot was out on the field leading the way as well. So, again, something you don't see in Major League Baseball. The home team is the one that's usually rallying their group. But here, the road team has their cheerleaders and their mascot out there with them doing it in the Lions' backyard. Well, here we go. Here comes the 8, 9, and 1 hitters to come to bat for the Swallows. That means Jose Osuna, who's been a busy man at first base. Although at the plate tonight, he has struck out twice. He has struck out swinging and looking. We got our friend Andy Altman-Orr in the house jumping in. Andy, how you doing? Hope you are enjoying your time in Vietnam. I don't know if you're still there or if you're about ready to move on. We're glad you popped in to say hello. We took about 10 days off from doing some games. There is a fastball that misses inside, and the count now goes to 2-0. We had just a lot of stuff going on over here, and we're going to do a few games this week, but we're going to miss the weekend next weekend, unfortunately. And here comes the 2-0 pitch. There's a fastball that misses down, and the count goes to 3-0 on Osuna. And Andy says after three weeks in Vietnam and a few days in Cambodia, he is now in Chiang Mai, Thailand for a month. Well, that sounds like it's great excitement. Thailand was on the docket for myself, but we're not going to be doing Thailand in the short term. That was on the plan for the pandemic year, and unfortunately, that's not totally true. The year after the pandemic year, in 2021, we were wanting to do that originally. That didn't quite make it, but it's still on the list to get to Bangkok. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into straightaway center field. Starting back on it was the center fielder, Hasegawa, and then he had to come in hard and make the grab, and that is going to retire Osuna. Osuna got the green light 3-0. You needed to do a better job with a better swing on that pitch. It was right down the middle, and he is retired for the first out of the inning, and that'll bring up the shortstop, Ryushi Takioka. I have nailed down my accommodations in Japan, at least for the 2 weeks I'm there, or the 2 weeks, the 2.5 weeks I'm there. And there's a fastball swung on. This is going to be driven foul down the left field line. The count is 0-1. I haven't knocked off my Korean stay yet, but really looking forward to getting myself into Japan. That is for sure. And certainly the dollar is in our favor. Last time I looked earlier today, 1 Canadian dollar got you just over 104 yen. That's what it's actually trading at. So if you went in to buy it, it would be more like a $1 and then 101. And he says, what's your Japan schedule? It's going to be 8 nights based in Tokyo. Going to be in the Asakusa area. That's where I'm familiar with, as it last pitch was fouled away and the count is 0-2. And then I've got 9 nights in Osaka, staying in, and I can't remember in Osaka where it is exactly. I'd have to go and look it up. In the sort of in the shopping district, which is a little different, as that pitch misses outside. The count is 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is lined into right field. It's going to get down for a base hit. Racing over to get it is Kawagawa. He's going to fire it back in, and that's going to be a 1-out single for Takioka, who's had himself a nice ball game here today, and that's going to bring up the top of the order in Tetsudo Yamada. So just to follow off on that, as I'm using it as the base, I'm going to try to hit the stadiums in the 8 nights that I'm in Tokyo. I'm going to try to knock off the 5 stadiums in that area. I haven't decided how I'm going to handle Chinichi yet, in Nagoya, where the Dragons play. And then, of course, my 9 nights in Osaka, I'm going to hit the Kyocera Dome. Also going to try to do a day trip to Fukuoka and to Hiroshima to catch games. And then, of course, catching a ball game at the Koshin Stadium would be also a pretty cool thing. So that's what we're looking at in the time frame that I'm going to be there. There's a fastball that misses up and in, and the count now goes to 1 ball and no strikes on Yamada. I have a buddy who is in Osaka who manages the flagship Mizuno store. So I've ordered a pair of custom spikes coming out of Japan as well, because I have a size 12 foot. And really anything after 10.5, you have to get custom made. There's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is 1-1. So I'm looking forward to some curry pon certainly at the store in Osaka. Fresh on the daily. Really looking forward to bringing, maybe I even try to bring some of that back to North America if they let me. So here's the 1-0 pitch. It's a breaking ball swung on, and it's hammered foul down the left field line, and that's going to run the count to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Going to try to get some, on top of that, can also try to get not just the ball games, but going to try to do some little documentaries, and we're going to do some stuff on how to get to the stadiums and the best routes to go. So I'm looking forward to that. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. And there's a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count now goes to 2-2. Actually, Andy, while you're here, I got a funny story for you, because I haven't seen you in for about a month or so, but I think you get a charge out of this one. So I head over town into downtown Vancouver. I get off the C bus and come out of Waterfront Station, and I see an older gentleman, a Japanese fella who I've known for probably about 14, 15 years. His son used to come to our programming, and run into him on the street. And so he tells me, he says, I got to tell you, he goes, do you remember so-and-so? And I said, of course I do. And anyways, as it turns out, there's another kid from our clinics and our camps that we've run who's actually playing in the NPB, but he's on the farm team for the Hokkaido Nippon Ham Fighters. There's a breaking ball swung on and fouled off into the feet of Yamada, and the count goes to 2-2. So I went and looked him up. It's Artaro Yamaguchi. And Artaro is playing for the farm team. He was the 3rd round pick in the development draft by the Hokkaido Nippon Ham Fighters. Outfielder, played some college ball in the United States, has a Japanese father and a Greek mother, and he's got an opportunity to play in their farm team. He's hitting about 210 or 220 or something like that last time I peeked in a couple of weeks ago. I'll try to keep my eye on him, and I think that's pretty cool that he's getting an opportunity to be able to maybe propel his career a little further. There's a fastball that misses down, and the count now goes to 3-2, because you never know what happens. Andy says the Hokkaido farm team plays in Chiba, he thinks. That'd be interesting. I'd actually like to get a grasp on where some of these farm team stadiums are, because that in itself would actually be kind of cool to go see a couple of farm games. I know Andy had seen some, and there were still some restrictions on for COVID when you were there, if I'm not mistaken, at some of the farm games. I think you had mentioned that the Giants were not allowing fans. There's a fastball swung on it, is grounded on one hop to the third baseman, McKinnon. He fires across the diamond, and that is going to retire Yamada, and a ground out 5-3. And that is going to do it here. Nope, that's actually going to be the second out of the inning. And that is going to bring up the center fielder, Soma Uchiyama. They did have the runner, Takioka, in motion there. I got a little ahead of myself. I was ready to wrap up the inning and move on to something else. Well, Soma Uchiyama comes to the plate with 2 gone and a runner at second base. 109 pitches now for the right-hander Takahashi. He's looking to finish off his work here in the 7th inning. That's right. Andy said it was the Tigers who had the COVID restrictions. They had no fans until May. There's a split-finger pitch that misses down for ball one, and the count is 1-0. I couldn't remember who it was at the time, and I know you were kind of lamenting about it because you wanted to see them play. And yet they still had COVID restrictions in. The only team that was still there, everybody else, the open air outdoor stadiums, were good to go. So here comes the 1-0 offering as the right-hander holds set, but now he steps off the backside of the rubber. Andy says, I have a doc I'll share with you. It has some of the farm info you can check out. That'd be awesome. If you want to email it to me, you know where I'm at here. There's a fastball swung on, his grounded softly over to short, fielded by Genda, throws to first, and that's going to do it. Uchiyama is going to be retired on a ground out 6-3 for the third out of the inning, and that will do it here in the 7th for the Swallows. Swallows go quietly. They got no runs. They did have a hit, no errors, and 1 runner left aboard. We are now moving to the bottom of the 7th inning. We're going to take ourselves a timeout. Your score is the Swallows 1 and the Lions no score. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple moments right after this. Appreciate you for listening in. And one last piece, I'll tell you the story of what's going on here with the star power hitter and Pacific League home run champion for the Seibu Lions, who is not in action, and that is Yamakawa. We'll be back in a few. I'll fill you in on that in just a bit. We'll be right back in half a second here, everybody. Living Room Sports is in the house, and he is going to come and break down all his picks from the CFL for you a little bit later. Hang tight, guys. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back, everybody. We are moving to the bottom of the 7th inning, and I had a question for Andy Altman-Orr from your experiences in going to the games. One of the things in North America people are getting static for is you could take in your iPhone into games, but you can't take in your iPad. I was at Comerica Park last summer, and I was pretty ticked off that I couldn't take my iPad into the game. And they were like, unless you have media credentials in Detroit, they won't let you take it in. I go, why am I going to leave this in my car? Try and get that thing stolen. There's a first pitch fastball swung on by Watanabe and missed, and the count is 0-1. Watanabe's had a double for 2 tonight. He's also flown out to left field. He's raised his average to 239 on the year. So I guess the question I would have for Andy is can you bring an iPad into the game without having to check it in? Because pretty much when I'm traveling around and about, I'll take my little pack with me and be able to take that in. And if they can do whatever search they want, but are they a little bit more relaxed than what we were seeing in North America? As a breaking ball is swung on and missed, the count goes to 1-2 on Watanabe. It is a pitching change here for the Swallows, as they do have a right-hander in the ball game, as he's going to be the third pitcher used here. As the right-hander delivers, it's a breaking ball swung on and fouled away. It's a Tomoya Hoshi who is on the mound. Hoshi is making his 23rd appearance in this one. He's 1-1 on the year. He has worked in 18 innings, allowed 13 hits. He's walked 2, struck out 23, and he's got an ERA of 4. Comes the 1-2 pitch. It is a fastball that misses down and away, and the count now goes to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. So Tomoya Hoshi, the new pitcher, number 3 of record for the Swallows. And why, for some reason, I think this game might start to blow up as it goes along here. We get into the bullpens. There's a fastball swung on, and this is lifted over on the first base side, giving chases Osuna. He slides, can't come up with the catch. A great job by Osuna to slide to try to make that grab, as he ends up feet first into the wall. That could be very dangerous when you're running feet first into the wall. If you get your ankle caught the wrong way, next thing you know, you could snap your ankle. But he's very fortunate there not to have done that, that's for sure. It's very interesting. Andy says that iPads aren't a big thing in the Japan. There's a fastball swung on and missed, and that is going to retire Watanabe for the first out of the inning. I know when I went the last time, or last 2 times, I took my laptop with me, and I just obviously find it to be a little bit cumbersome. Although I can still get some stuff done on the laptop that I can't get on other stuff. I'm going to pick myself up a new iPhone. I'm still working off. Got to tell you, people lament Apple for a lot of things. I've been working off an iPhone 8 Plus for the last 7 or 8 years, and I love it. I love it. The problem is it only is going to give me 256 gig, so it's time to put it into retirement and to get myself something else. Well, it looks like we have a pinch hitter here coming up to bat. As Seiji Kawagawa's night is done, it looks like it is Shohei Suzuki. As the first pitch is a breaking ball taken for a called strike. And the count is quickly 0-1. We'll have to confirm that for you here. He is a left-handed stick batting here for the first time here tonight. And that's exactly who it is Shohei Suzuki. It's getting to be where I'm recognizing players without having to look at their numbers or anything like that. And there's a split finger pitch swung on and missed, and the count goes to 0-2. So Shohei Suzuki in here to bat for Kawagawa. Suzuki on the season hitting .244 with no homers and 8 RBIs. He's got 5 stolen bases. Here's the 0-2 pitch. It's a breaking ball swung on and fouled away. It's into the netting down the left field line. Count remains at 0-2. I don't know if Andy actually went to the games in Saitama, but one of the things that I was thinking about, or 2 of the things, was thinking of seat positioning in Saitama. It's like a bowl, it's an open air kind of dome stadium, and I was wondering if it would be cooler at the top and warmer at the bottom if there would be less air breeze. As there's a fastball swung on, it is lifted foul into the seats over on the third base side. I also thought another spot that might be kind of cool to sit would be down by the bullpen in left field. You can get some good video down there of the pitchers warming up, but may not necessarily get the best sight line for the games. Andy was in our stream before, and we were talking about where you sit. I've sat all over the place at all different stadiums, you name it. Been in the front row, been in the last row, been in the corner, been in the dugout almost. It's different spots. As that fastball is swung on and fouled away, and the count remains at 2, no balls and 2 strikes. Andy says the Saitama and the Big Egg are the only 2 he hasn't been to. I've been to the Egg. I just haven't seen a game at the Egg. And, of course, looking forward to knocking all the stadiums off in the Tokyo area. There's a split figure pitch that misses down, and the count now is 1 ball and 2 strikes. Our friend of living room says in 10 years, people will be wearing wearing glasses that are tiny computers. Yeah, you're probably right. There's a fastball swung on his chop slowly over to first, fielded by Osuna, who flips it to the pitcher covering, and that is going to retire Suzuki on a ground out 3-1. We were talking about earlier in the game, in the first inning, when some of you folks weren't around, talking about the necessity of pitchers being able to field their positions. And I was specifically talking about Kona Takahashi and taking a look at the Swallows tonight of balls that would be put in play. How many balls or how many plays would he have to be involved in once you remove the strikeouts from the statistical category? And we'll take a look at that over the course of the next couple innings. There's the first pitch fastball that misses upstairs to Shinya Hasegawa, and the count is 1-0. Hasegawa tonight has been on base both of his plate appearances. He's got a walk and a double. And he says he went to the Sapporo Dome this year for an art maker fest, so that doesn't count. That's for sure. There's a breaking ball that's taken for a called strike, and the count is 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. I'm not sure if I should take the living room serious or not, where he says that sounds like fun, or if that's tongue firmly planted in cheek. There's a breaking ball that is swung on miss. The count is 1-2. But when you're married and you have a significant other, sometimes you have to take a bullet for the team, and you got to go do things that you don't want to do. And that might have been in that situation. Here you go. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. There's a breaking ball swung on it, is lifted foul right behind home plate, and the count is going to remain at 1 ball and 2 strikes to Hasegawa. Living room says he likes art. I'm just impressed the living room can spell art at times. So 1 ball and 2 strikes as it is here to Hasegawa. The right-hander kicks and delivers. It is a split finger pitch swung on and missed. And Hasegawa down on strikes for the 3rd out of the inning. And boy, this game here skips along. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. We are now moving to the top of the 8th inning. It is the Swallows 1, the Lions no score, and you can pretty much bet we're going to have ourselves a pitching change here in just a couple moments. Hang tight, everybody. We appreciate you guys for listening in. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back, everybody. Andy Altman-Orr says that his missus went to the ball games with him at the Koshin Kyocera Dome and Nagoya Dome and the new Escont Field in Hokkaido. So absolutely, if she is going to join you for those, then you've got to take one for the team and get to that art exhibition at the old Sapporo Dome. And I'm sure that was probably more important is checking out that old dome. Wonder what they'll do with some of these properties that they had. That's the one thing in baseball over in Japan. Are they going to knock it down like they do in North America? Or are they going to keep it and use it for other stuff? Very, very interesting. Our friend Undrafted Player says those NPB facts about the teams, the pom-pom girls and photos are nice. Yeah, it's been one of the highlights for some of our people as well. It helps us keep attentive throughout the game. Want to see if you guys are awake and watching as well. We do have a pitching change on the mound here for the Seibu Lions as they are going to their bullpen. It's going to be Sasaki that is coming on to pitch. We'll get you the specs on him as we move along here. It is a left-hander who is coming into the ball game. On the first pitch, it is a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count is 1-0. Ken Sasaki, the lefty, in his third season with the Lions. This is going to be his 8th appearance. He has pitched in 10 innings, allowed 6 hits. He's walked 3, struck out 4, and he has yet to allow an earned run. The 1-0 pitch on the way as a fastball swung on. It's grounded right to Genda. He fields it. He throws to first, and that is going to retire the batter runner there of Kawabata on a ground out 6-3 for out number 1. So 1 up and 1 away, and that's going to bring up the third baseman, Munetaka Murakami. I have to tell you, he is very smooth at shortstop, Genda, but I really don't know if I like the way that he fields the ball sometimes. That was right in the middle of his body, and he decided to go down with one hand. Made a routine ground ball a little more exciting for my liking. So that brings Murakami to the plate. He is 1 for 2 today. He's got a single and 2 trips. He's also struck out and walked. And here comes the first offering from Sasaki, who kicks and delivers. It is a fastball that misses upstairs for ball 1. The count is 1-0. I guess I would ask Andy, I've been to Osaka before. I haven't spent as much time in Osaka as I have in Tokyo, as I mentioned. But after your time in Osaka, away from the baseball, here's the 1-0 pitch. It's a breaking ball that misses down and in, and the count is now 2-0. What would you suggest as being maybe 1 or 2 or 3 things that would be a must-see? I mean, I've been to Dotonbori, I've been to Osaka Castle, I've done some of that stuff. But I was actually contemplating renting a bicycle and making my way around town for a good solid day, maybe just taking a 24-hour pass or something like that on a bike. As there's a fastball that swung on and missed, and the count now goes to 2-1. But I was contemplating being able to do that, ride around town, be able to check out some different stuff. So 2 balls and 1 strike to Murakami as the lefty works to the set position, does Sasaki, and now he kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball that misses inside, and the count goes to 3-1. Also looked at Tokyo, the possibility maybe of renting a bike in Tokyo for a day. Get up early in the morning, get the bike rented, or maybe rent it the day before, have it for maybe a 48-hour window, and then just ride all over the city. Here's the 3-1. As the pitch is on the way, it's a breaking ball that misses outside, and Murakami's going to be aboard for the 3rd time today. His 2nd base on balls as they've pitched around him, and that's going to bring up Nori Aoki to the plate. Well, speaking of base on balls, Nori Aoki has had a couple of walks tonight. He has scored the only run. It was a run in the 4th inning as he was driven home by Yuhei Nakamura. Friend, the living room says that we're going to be on the bicycle. Yeah, absolutely. Save myself a few steps and get on the bike and ride around town. Should be good fun. Maybe get a rickshaw. Here's the pitch. It's a fastball that misses down, and the count goes to 1-0 to Aoki. Aoki tonight, as we said, has walked a couple of times, been on base twice via the free pass. Friend Andy says you can ride around Osaka, the best to try to find the small streets and shopping streets and alleys, or the outskirts, not Central Osaka. Yeah, I agree with that. There's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 1-1. Yeah, Central Osaka could be a bit of a zoo. Here comes the 1-1 pitch as Sasaki works to the set position. And now he kicks and delivers. It's a fastball swung on, and it's going to be lifted foul down the left field line into the netting. It's going to run the count to 1-2 strikes. We will be back on the airwaves again tomorrow. And as we mentioned, we're going to do maybe 2 or 3 during the week. But we're not going to be able to do anything next weekend. We're going to be on the island, Vancouver Island. And so we're not going to be able to make any calls of games. So that's how that is going to work for us. As here comes the 1-2 offering. It is a fastball swung on and fouled away. The count remains at 1-2 strikes. Aoki waggling his bat, waiting here on the offering from the lefty Ken Sasaki. Friend of the living room says, "Where's Mick tonight?" I'm not sure actually where he's at. He was in on one of the midweek games last week, and then he has taken a timeout. There's a ground ball to second. They go over to the shortstop, Genda covering, back to first. That's going to be a double play. Nori Aoki going to ground into the 4-6-3 variety. And that is going to do it here, as that is going to end the threat for the Swallows in their half of the 8th inning. Well, they had no runs in the inning. There were no hits, no errors. Nobody left the board. We are now through 7.5. It is the Swallows 1, the Lions no score. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back here in just a couple moments with all the action as we move to the bottom of the 8th inning. Here's a musical tune for you all in this one. Welcome back, everybody. We are moving to the bottom of the 8th inning, and coming to bat for the Lions will be the bottom third of the batting order: Hiranuma, Koga, and Wakabayashi. And I have to say that it is one of these ball games here where it is really, really quiet, and you don't want to wake the sleeping bear, which could be the Lions. Just keep being out there and doing the same old stuff over and over again. Looks like we're going to have some defensive changes for the Swallows as Yamazaki is coming into the ballgame in the outfield. Looks like Nori Aoki's day is done. We'll get you some of those ones a little bit later. And we have a pitching change as it's going to be Shimizu, who is coming into the ballgame here to be the reliever now for the Swallows. Shimizu, a right-hander, is coming in here. He is making his 24th appearance of the year. Got no wins and 1 loss. He has worked 23 innings. He has allowed 19 hits. He has walked 2, struck out 23, and he has a 1.96 ERA is where we stand here. So Noboru Shimizu on in relief. He's here. So 1 ball and no strikes. Right-hander holding set. And now he kicks and delivers. There's a fastball. Take it for a called strike, and the count goes even to 1-1. 1 ball and 1 strike it is. 1-0 for the Swallows. It's the Lions are batting here in the bottom of the 8th inning. The sand is starting to run out in the hourglass. They've got 6 outs left in this one to do some damage. There's a split finger pitch swung on and missed. The count now goes to 1-2. Not exactly. We were talking earlier. I know the living room has been making predictions on his channel. And one of the things that we've talked about is the fact that the lineups really don't come out till about an hour before the game. The Lions lineup that they rolled out here tonight at the beginning of the ball game, if you would have told me they would have had no runs scored through the 8 innings, so there's a fastball swung on. It's grounded over to second. Fielded neatly by Yamada, who throws to first. That's going to retire here. Inuma, ground out 4-3 for the first out of the inning. Just to finish my thought on that, if you would have told me at the beginning of the game that the Lions would have no runs here into the 8th inning, I would have not have been surprised. This is not a strong lineup at all. Another thing is, we were talking earlier about the Lions and Yamakawa, the big star first baseman for the Lions. He has been on the suspended list, or he's been I shouldn't say that. He's been off the active roster since about the middle of May. He's being investigated for a rape charge that happened in November of 2022 at a hotel in Japan. And so he has been removed from the active roster. That's a huge bat that's out of the lineup right now. We do have a pinch hitter here for the Lions as Kuriyama is coming in to pinch hit, as he's going to be hitting for Yuto Koga. And here's the first pitch to Kuriyama. It's a split finger pitch swung on and missed. The count is quickly 0-1. Kuriyama on the season, he is batting .138. Got a home run and 3 RBIs. With the home run he hit last week, as there's a breaking ball that misses down, they appeal to the third base umpire, but they say he didn't go. He has hit at least 1 home run in every season since 2005. He began his rookie campaign in 2005. He did play 1 game and have 3 at-bats back in the 2004 season, but he has been in the NPB since 2005. Every year he's had at least a home run since then. Here comes the 1-1 to Kuriyama. And there's a fastball swung on it. It's grounded over to third. Murakami fields it. He fires to first. That's going to be a ground out 5-3 for the second out of the inning. And so that will do it here for Takumi Kuriyama. He is gone for out number 1. And that is going to bring up Gakuto Wakabayashi. Our friend in the living room asked the question, I started a conversation with his predictions and then ended up getting raped. Yeah, that I think was your midweek predictions. That's exactly what happened. But I was starting to say about the predictions that the living room is making. It's hard to make your predictions when you don't know the lineups. Other than the pitchers, you're having to go on the basis of the pitchers, maybe on how the bullpen is rested, as that pitch is a fastball swung on and missed by Wakabayashi. And the count is 0-1. So here comes the 0-1 pitch. And it is a breaking ball swung on. This ball is lifted into right center field. That ball is going to get down for a base hit. The center fielder racing over to cut it off does, but he has to fire it back in, and sliding into second base safely with a hustle double as Wakabayashi. He is going to cruise in there safely. So he has got himself a 2-out double, and that'll bring up the top of the order and Suzuki Genda. So the Lions are got a threat going here with 2 out. And Suzuki Genda coming to the plate. Just watching there. A great hustle double by Wakabayashi with 2 gone here. Got to like that. That's reminiscent of the double earlier in the game by the right fielder for the Swallows, Domingo Santana, coming hard out of the box. Earned himself a hustle double at a very similar place on the field. So here's Genda with the runner at second and 2 gone. Base hit here could score the run from second base. Here's the pitch. It is a fastball swung on. It's grounded to the right side. Yamada goes deep into the 4-hole to get it. He fires to first, and that is going to do it. A ground out 4-3 as Genda is retired for out number 3. And that will do it here in the 8th inning for the Lions. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 runner left aboard. We're now through 8 complete. Your score is the Swallows 1 and the Lions no score. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple moments. Appreciate you guys for listening in here with us. Here's another one of our tunes for you to keep you entertained. We'll be right back in just a few. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be Domingo Santana, Yuhei Nakamura, and Jose Osuna, the scheduled batters to come to bat. And it is going to be yet another pitching change here for the site of a Seibu Lions as they are going back to the bullpen again. This looks like it is Tanoko coming in, and it is exactly who it is, as we are going to get you the information on him. Jesus Tanoko on in relief. The right-hander is making his 23rd appearance of the season. He's 0-2. He has pitched 19 2/3 innings. He's allowed 17 hits, 7 walks. He has struck out 14, and he's got an ERA of 3.66. He has given up 8 runs, all of which have been earned. But he has settled down recently. He had a little bit of a rocky start to the season. He is now going to be taking over here. He has spent time in the big league organization with the Rockies, Marlins, and Rangers. I'll say Rockies twice because he was there and bounced away. Senasuge on now to catch as he is going to be in the spot where Kakanaka had come in to pinch hit for Senasuge. Or check that out, where he'd come in to hit for Koga. So Yuta Koga's night is done, and Senasuge now here catching. So Domingo Santana coming to the plate, batting at 287 on the season, as he is 1 for 2 in this one. He's also drawn a walk. And the first pitch is on the way. It is a breaking ball that is swung on and missed, and the count is quickly 0-1. We're here in the top of the 9th inning, as this ball game here is getting into the deep water. 1-0 for the Swallows. Just as a reminder, we'll wrap this one up at the end of the ball game, and then we'll give you the out-of-town scoreboard. So stay with us for all of that. There is a breaking ball that catches the outside corner, and the count now goes to 0-2 on Santana. I tell you, if this game here can finish up as the way it's been, I'll be absolutely elated. Get an early jump on some sleep, but I just saying that probably going to curse myself, and we'll probably end up in extra innings and go all the way to 12. So there's a breaking ball that misses down and away, and the count is 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes it is. It's not exactly the 2 glamour teams of the NPB going head-to-head tonight. Here's the pitch. It is a fastball that just misses low, and the count now goes to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. The right-hander, Tanoko, ready to go again. He gets the sign from his catcher. And now he kicks and delivers. There is a fastball swung on. It is grounded on a couple of hops over to the second baseman. Fielded neatly over there by Hiranuma, and he throws out Santana on a ground out 4-3. Santana hit the ball hard, but right to the second baseman. That is going to do it for him. That's going to bring up the catcher, Yuhei Nakamura. And for Nakamura, he went from hero to GOAT in the matter of about 30 seconds. Our friend Trevor says, who's batting? Well, we're in the top of the inning, Trevor, so the Swallows are up to bat. As there is one gone here in the ninth, and there is a breaking ball that just misses down, and the count is 1-0 to Nakamura. Living Room Sports giving updates from the heavens. It says the Iron Sheik has put St. Peter in the camel clutch. Yeah, it's a sad day when the Iron Sheik passes away, the most hated man in the United States for a long time. There's a fastball that's taken for a called strike, and the count is 1-1. Kind of a sad ending to his life, as we were reading the other day. He turned to a lot of drugs and alcohol after one of his daughters was unfortunately murdered. There's a fastball that just misses inside, and the count now goes to 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike it is here to Nakamura. As the righty Tinoco delivers, there's a fastball that just misses inside. The count goes to 3-1. I have to tell you, I get frustrated watching this home plate umpire, as he always wants to take a look at his indicator. I don't know what he's constantly fixed on it for. It only goes to 4 for balls and 3 for strikes. So here's the 3-1 pitch. It is a fastball swung on tap foul over on the first base side, and the count now is 3-2 to Nakamura. Be interested to see how the Swallows are going to try to close this one out in the bottom of the ninth. So 3 balls and 2 strikes, and here's the pitch. It's a breaking ball swung on. It is lifted into shallow right center field, drifting over and making the catch as the center fielder Hasegawa, and that is going to retire Nakamura for the second out of the inning. So 2 away, and that's going to leave it all up to the first baseman, Jose Osuna. Well, for Osuna tonight, he has had a pretty solid game defensively. On the offensive side of things, it's a little desired. He has struck out twice and flown out to center field as he bats here with 2 gone in the top of the 9th inning. Osuna's average on the year is at 266 for the big fella. He's got 9 homers and 28 runs batted in. When you have him hitting in the 8th spot, that's pretty impressive with those kind of numbers. So here comes the 1-0 as the right-hander now kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball swung on and missed. The count now goes to 0-1 on Osuna. Check that 1-1 on Osuna. Missed the ball in there in our marking scheme. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Right-hander Tinoco ready to go again as he holds set and now delivers. It's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count now goes to 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike. Tinoco works to the set position, and now he kicks and he fires. It's a breaking ball. Another good pitch, but just not good enough. It was on the outside corner, hoping to get Osuna to bite. So 3 balls and 1 strike to Osuna. The last time we saw something like this, his last at bat, he had green light at 3-0, and he flew out to center field. So here comes the 3-1 pitch. As the pitch is on the way, it is a breaking ball waved at and missed. The count now goes to 3-2 on Osuna. I think I come back with that exact same pitch again, but I want to finish it off just a little bit lower as more of a chase pitch. Here's the 3-2. As the pitch is on its way, and it's a breaking ball. I don't think it was kind of the right idea that I had there, but I wanted it more over the middle of the plate. By the time it would have fallen, it would have been a ball out of the zone. That's going to be ball 4 to Osuna. He's going to be aboard with a 2-out walk, and that'll bring up the shortstop, Ryusei Takanaka. Well, for Takanaka, he is 1 for 3 in the ball game. He had a single his last time up. He's flown out to left field his other 2 trips to the plate. So here comes the first offering to him. It's a fastball swung on and fouled away. And the count is quickly 0-1 to Takanaka. some ways, we're glad we didn't do that game. I thought about doing the Hawks and the Lions tonight. There's a fastball that misses low and in, and the count goes even to 1-1. That's a game where you've scored more runs in that ball game than maybe 3 of the other games here combined. So here comes the 1-1 pitch. As the right-hander works sent to the belt. And now he kicks and delivers. There's a fastball that misses down, and the count now goes to 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike to the 9-hole hitting shortstop. Good traveling Swallows fans for this one. Of course, it's not that far away. They're all in that Tokyo region. Swallows in the southwest and the Lions in the northwest. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count now goes to 2-2 on Takioka. My glasses are a little bit maybe too tight, squeezing off the circulation of my brain, having trouble reading my own handwriting. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. As Tanaka delivers, it's a fastball swung on. This ball is going to get golfed into center field for a base hit. That's going to put runners at first and second with 2 away. So all the happenings here of coming with 2 out. It's going to bring up the top of the order in Tetsudo Yamada. You didn't want to roll over the order. Yamada, even though he's not had a great game here tonight, he's a very dangerous hitter. That's exactly what you got to face. These guys here, I often say it all the time. The players at the bottom of the order are hitting there for a reason. They're not that good. And there's nothing more frustrating when you walk somebody and then you give up a base hit. And we have a full-on conference on the mound. So runner at first and second with 2 gone here as the pitching coach Toyota on here to have some discussions with his players. So up steps Yamada, who is 0 for 4 in this one. He's done a little bit of everything. He grounded to the pitcher. He has popped to the catcher. He struck out and grounded to third. So he gets himself dug in, and we're ready to go here. The crowd is in a good voice and good form. The Swallows fans do travel well. And here comes the first pitch. It is a breaking ball swung on and missed. And the count is quickly no balls and 1 strike to Yamada. As we said at the outset, Yamada not having a season like he would probably like to have. Entered the fray tonight hitting .239. That number has only dropped. Here's the 0-1 pitch. It's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into deep left center field, giving chase, and this ball is going to be over the head and into the stands. It's going to be a ground rule double. That is going to cash 1 run in, but they're going to be sending the pinch runner here, or they're going to send, Takioka back to third. But that is going to be an RBI double for Yamada. And that's going to increase the Swallows' lead to 2-0. That might be the insurance that they needed. Jose Osuna was able to score from second. So that is going to put runners at second and third with 2 gone. That'll bring up Soma Uchihama. Our friend in the living room wants to say something about the carp. I think you spelt carp wrong. He's typed that in the chat. And the umbrellas are out again in Saitama as the Swallow fans are doing their umbrella dance. There's a fastball that comes inside and almost hits Uchiyama. It's going to back him off the plate. That's going to put the count at 1 ball and no strikes. Uchiyama is 1 for 4 in this one. He's got a single and 4 trips. He's grounded to short twice and popped to the shortstop once. Here comes the 1-0. There is a split finger pitch swung on and missed. The count goes to 1-1. be talking about the Detroit Tiger effort tonight against the Arizona Diamondbacks. As there's a fastball that misses down and the count goes to 2-1. So Tinoco unable to finish off the inning. He got the first 2 outs that he had. First 2 outs, first 2 batters he faced, and then it's been walk, single, and double since then. Here comes the 2-1. There's a breaking ball swung on and fouled away, and the count now is 2-2 on Uchiyama. Bring your relievers in. You hope that they can help you stay at bay. And he said, we saw the umbrella dance up close at the Cochin, right near the visiting Swallows section. Wondering if they brought their band with them too. I understand they got a band, but I also understand the Tigers have a band as well. There's a breaking ball taken for a called third strike. Oh, Uchiyama stood there like the house by the side of the road, watched it go by for out number 3. And that is going to do it there for the Swallows in their half of the inning. Well, they added some insurance. They had a run in the inning on the benefit of 2 hits. There were no errors, and there was 2 runners left aboard. We are now moving to the bottom of the 9th inning. It is a 2-0 ball game for the Swallows. Coming to bat will be the 2, 3, and 4 hitters in the batting order, and that's going to be Tonosaki, McKinnon, and Watanabe. Stay tuned, everybody. We'll be back in just a moment to walk you home for the bottom of the 9th inning after this.
Hello, this is Eric Fox, formerly of the Oakland A's and Texas Rangers baseball teams. If you want to learn about Japanese baseball, see Coach Fred of Last Raps Baseball. If you want baseball instruction, see Coach Fred. If you want to learn about golf, do not go to Coach Fred. Fred, what kind of club is this?
At Last Raps Baseball, we know baseball.
Welcome back, everybody. We have a pitching change. It is going to be a left-hander coming in for the Swallows, and this is going to be Taguchi coming in. A left-hander here. We're going to get you the specs on him in just a second. But Kazuto Taguchi on to try to close this one out for a victory. For Taguchi on the season, he's going to be working his 21st ball game. He is 0-2. He's got 12 saves. Most so far of his NPB career. He has worked 19 2/3 innings, allowing 16 hits, walked 7, struck out 28. He's got an ERA of 1.83. Defensive changes for the Swallows as well, but moving a little quick for us. We'll have to get you that if they end up coming to bat. So Tonosaki is coming to the plate. He is in this one 1 for 3 tonight. He's got a single in 3 trips. He's also grounded out and flown out. Andy Altman-Orr says Chiba travels well too. Huge strong for the game we're at in Hokkaido. A little surprising as they don't seem to always maybe have a presence elsewhere. So there's a breaking ball that is swung on and missed. Count is 0-1. But maybe I have read about Chiba that they do have like theme nights at the stadium. They've got some weird events that go on, and that ends up being a positive thing for them because they get people to come out to watch the game. Here's the 0-1. It's a breaking ball that just misses, and the count now goes to 1-1. So Tonosaki, McKinnon, and Watanabe, the scheduled Lions hitters here in the 9th inning. They're looking to try to find a score a run against the Swallows pitching here. Here comes the 1-1 offering. It's a fastball that misses down, and it's now 2-1. Certainly what you don't want is you don't want to allow a base runner here if you are the Swallows. They've got the crowd is jumping up and down now for the Lions. Here's the 2-1. It's a breaking ball swung on. This ball is lifted into deep right center field. Moving back on it and making the catch is the defensive replacement we have there. I don't have the defensive replacement. That is going to retire Tonosaki for the first out of the inning. I'll have to try to get you that number here in just a second. That was one of the changes. And that is going to be, running it down, it is Hidetaka Namiki, as he is able to run that one down. This is his third season in the NPB. He has got himself some stats now as he's playing a little bit better offensively. There's a fastball to McKinnon, swung on and grounded foul over on the third base side. The count is quickly 0-1. So no balls and one strike. McKinnon to be followed by Watanabe here in the ninth inning. 2-0, the Swallows have the lead. No balls and one strike to McKinnon. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is looped over to second base, and it's going to be hauled in by Yamada. That is going to retire McKinnon for the second out of the inning. Hit that ball, and the ball ended up looping toward the second baseman. Yamada runs it down, and there are now two away, and that's going to leave hauled up to Kento Watanabe. Our friend God is great. Our Titus is still listening as he's doing his volunteer work. Appreciate you there. There's the first pitch fastball delivered to Watanabe. It's swung on and fouled away, and the count is quickly 0-1. So no balls and one strike. Our friend Living Room says quick death here. I checked out your picks earlier, but I can't remember who you picked and who you stayed off of. For some reason, Lions come to mind in this one. There's a fastball that swung on and tapped foul over on the third base side. The count is now 0-2. Friend undrafted player says he's listening live even though he knows nothing about the NPB. That's not true. You know more about it today than you did yesterday. That's for sure. So no balls and two strikes it is as the lefty now kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball that misses down. That's going to run the count to 1-2 on Watanabe. A little strange there, almost like it maybe hit somebody's foot. Maybe the umpire or possibly even the catcher there, as it had a weird bounce to it. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Watanabe. As the Lions are down to their final strike. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is going to be lined just foul down the left field line. It's going to keep the count at 1-2. Oh, that's why you got the rest of the day. It's certainly, we got something we haven't had here in a few weeks, and that would be rain. Having my young guys postponed. Here's the pitch. It is a breaking ball swung on and missed, and that is going to do it. That's going to end the ball game here as the Lions go quietly in their half of the ninth inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. Your final score is the Lions losing to the Swallows 2-0. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be back here in just a couple moments to wrap this one up for you. We'll give you the out-of-town scoreboard. We'll run this one down, and then we'll call it a night. We appreciate you guys for being with us.
Good evening, sports fans. I hope you all have been enjoying the game. This is just another message from another Hollis build. I hope that your team is in the lead, but if not, remember, that's life. That's what all the people say. You're riding high in April, shot down in May. But you know I'm gonna change that tune. When I'm back on top in June. I said that's life. And as funny as it may seem, some people get their kicks stomping on my team, but I don't let it get me down. 'Cause this fine old world, it keeps spinning around. I hope you enjoy the rest of the game. And if it remains the same, remember, that's life. You want your fill? Go check another Hollis build on YouTube. Last Raps Baseball. Let's get back to the game. Let's go! You know that's life. You know it. One love and peace.
Welcome back, everybody. We're going to wrap this one up for you. We'll give you the out-of-town scoreboard, and then we're going to call it a night. So it was pretty easy peasy here as the Swallows did all the scoring in this one. In the fourth inning, they got a run off of Kona Takahashi. With one out, Nori Aoki walked, and then as did Domingo Santana. So that put runners at first and second, and up stepped Yuhei Nakamura, and he singled home Aoki with the first run of the ball game to make the score 1-0. The Swallows did not add to their lead until the ninth inning with two out off of Jesus Tanako. It was a 2-out walk to Jose Osuna. Ryusuke Takioka had a single, and then it was Tetsuda Yamada driving home Osuna with a RBI double, and that is where the scoring ended. 2-0 for the Swallows. We'll take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard before we knock this one off here tonight. All the other games are definitely all moving across the NPB. There is no other games that are considered to be finals yet, but they are approaching it for sure. The Fighters have a 4-3 lead over the Tigers. That is in the top of the ninth inning. Eagles are up 1-0 in the top of the ninth over the Dragons. The game that we are keeping an eye on, the Carp and the Marines, 4-4 in the bottom of the eighth. The game is all tied up. The Buffaloes have a 4-3 lead over the Bay Stars. That is in the bottom of the eighth inning. And at the top of the eighth, at the PayPay Dome, they have a slugfest going on. The Giants have an 8-6 lead over the Fighters. Those are all your scores from out of town. Once again, everybody, your final score here, Swallows 2, Lions 0. We will see you again tomorrow night. We'll post up our game that we're going to do, and hopefully you guys can make it in here with us. Look forward to being back again tomorrow. Once again, everybody, it's been another Last Raps Baseball video production. We hope you all have a great night. Come on back and see us again. We'll talk to you guys on the flip side.